Welcome to the Amazon FBA Masterclass. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how we help 6, 7, 8-figure brands successfully launch and scale on Amazon. So here's exactly what we're going to go over in this video. The first thing is going to be how to successfully figure out what products to launch on Amazon and what the strategy is to have a successful launch and honeymoon period. The second thing is going to be how to do proper keyword research and set up campaigns from the start that will succeed for the long term. The third thing is going to be how to make a master keyword list and fully optimize your listing with SEO enrichment to make sure that your visibility is shown right away when you launch. The fourth thing, and one of the most underutilized things, is how to set up proper main images that maximize click-through rate to make sure people click onto your listings. The fifth thing is going to be what to do if your product is not selling for whatever reasons and how we can reverse engineer and diagnose what fixes are needed. And the last thing is, once a product is scaling and doing well, how can we use Amazon's search query performance report to identify what part of the funnels we can improve to even boost your sales up higher? So this will be a long video, but there's a bunch of timestamps here for what specific section you want to go to. This is for people who are launching on Amazon, they already sell on Amazon, 6, 7, 8-figure brands, and they just want to scale. Also, if you want access to the document I go over in this video, it'll be down low in the description below. And to finish off, if you want to work with me and my team, there'll be a link in bio where you can book a call. But enjoy the video. Okay, so what we're going to talk about is how to launch a new product on Amazon and get sales fast. So launching a new product on Amazon can be challenging, especially nowadays. It's super competitive, man. Everyone's trying to sell on Amazon. The bids are so high for PPC, and then it's hard to differentiate your product. So I'm going to show you exactly what we can do to fix this. Some pitfalls: most Amazon launches fail due to insufficient reviews, poor images, weak SEO copy, an ineffective pricing strategy, ineffective PPC strategy. There's a lot of things, so we're going to break down exactly what that is. So this presentation will guide you through a proven step-by-step process to successfully launch your product on Amazon, generate early sales in the honeymoon phase, and then also position yourself for long-term success on the platform. Okay, step 1 of why most launches fail. Competitive market / no unique value proposition. And I'm speaking from my existence, as I have had 2 failed product launches years ago in the past. Like I said, it's a thumbnail right here. It's one of my products right here. It was a neon sign that I put in the market, and this is the pitfall that it was. Now, what is a competitive market? Nowadays, I believe a competitive market is where you have no sellers below 100 reviews doing at least 10K a month. Now, why do I say this? If you have no sellers below 100 reviews, you know, selling on Amazon, getting 100 reviews is not easy. You know, it's not an easy task, especially if you're building your listing up from ground zero. So if you have no sellers below 100 reviews doing at least 10K a month, what does that showcase to you? That the biggest sellers are just taking all the money, right? The sellers with 500 reviews, 1,000 reviews, 2,000, 5,000 reviews. So then you have to think in the back of your mind, I can't get that many reviews until like years down the line. So how am I even supposed to make profit or get revenue in that small time period? That's a good indication that the market is too competitive for you to enter, no matter how good your value proposition is, you know? Because you have to consider that your competitors are going to be bidding on all those keywords, and then the pricing might be cheaper, and they're going to have way more reviews. Like I said, top seller with 10,000 plus reviews, that's obviously a big sign that it's a hard market. They have enough PPC budget to spend on ads. They have strong listing copy. They have strong reviews, strong ratings. It's going to be hard to steal customers from them. Third thing, this is the hardest thing right here. Insanely high cost per click. The more expensive the bids are, the more competitive the market is. So this is one of the most important things you have to consider. I'll give you an analogy. A recent guy I was working with maybe a few weeks ago, his product was selling for $30, $30 product. And the cost per click for each of his keywords was about $5 to $6. Now think about that, $5 to $6 for a $30 product. Now we're not even considering Amazon fees, FBA fees, right, fulfillment fees, and then the PPC cost itself. Just that insane cost per click is just not sustainable long term, because you think, how many clicks does it take me to get a sale? For that product, it probably took 5 clicks to generate 1 sale. So 5 clicks at a $5 PPC price point, that's $25 in PPC spend on a $30 product. And then that's not even considering your FBA fees and the inventory costs. So you're just in the red. So you have to calculate this properly before you ever launch a product. In determining what is a high cost per click, we got to break this down right here. Okay, what is a high cost per click? A high cost per click is anything above your break-even point or 25% above your category average. Okay, now why do I say this? Because obviously you're going to be sort of break-even or making a little profit initially in those first 1 to 3 months selling on Amazon, because we want to get more sales, we want to get more views, and we want to increase our organic ranking. But if your cost per click is above 25% of your price, that's a big issue. So let's break this down. Let's say we sell a $30 product, which takes about 5 clicks to convert a sale. Like I said, if your average cost per click is between 50 cents to $1, that's great, because you're probably converting well and you can probably generate, let's say it takes you 7 clicks to generate a sale. That's still much more profitable than having $5 or $4, you know, because let's say $10 goes to your PPC spend and your inventory, you still have a lot of margin to play with. Now let's go to $1, $1.75. Average, normal, it's manageable, cost per click, but this all depends on your conversion rate, okay? Then we have 1.75, 2.5. Now it's kind of high. You know, you must have a high conversion rate to justify. If you're not converting well, if it takes you 5 clicks to convert a customer at this price range, it's going to be hard to really have like a margins above 30%, okay? Next thing, 2.5 and above, never, ever, ever go into a market like this. Very high, unsustainable. It's not going to be high converting probably, high intent keywords or launch situation. Now let's have a look here. The product selling price is $30. COGS and FBA fees, $15. Amazon referral fee, $15. That's 4.5. And the net margin before your PPC is 10.5. Now, a big issue I see when people launch a product or are looking to launch a product, they just stop here. They stop here. They're like, okay, my net margin is 10.5. But they're not considering the actual PPC cost or how many bids it's going to take to convert into a buyer. Now, if conversion rate is 20%, 1 out of 5, how much margin are you left with? You know, let's break it down here. So we have cost per click, 0.5, all of these cost per clicks, okay? Now let's say it takes 5 clicks to generate a sale. So 50 cents, 5, 2.5, okay, we go down more, and it gets higher and higher. So based on our data, only these 2 fields are suitable for a $30 product. Why? Because you look at the net profit after ads, you know, $8, 5.5, and then as a percentage, that's 26% and 18%. That's like relatively in the ballpark of Amazon nowadays, having like a 25% profit margin. 30 is really good. If you do, you know, 30 is really good. But this is based off of the numbers I'm showing you actually. So anything above that is way too low, like a 10% net profit, 1.7, and then everything else is in the red. So before you launch on Amazon, you must consider what is the average cost per click. You can go Helium 10. You can have a look at the average market price and what these bids are going for these keywords, but make sure you do not miss out on this or else you will lose a ton of money. Another major issue is having no unique value proposition, which kills your product launch. Nowadays on Amazon, if you don't stand out, you get scrolled past. That's it. Think about it. Unless you think about it in this sense. You're launching a product, you have competitors in the market with thousands to 500 reviews. They probably have cheaper price points than you, and they have better organic ranking. So what's the way to beat them? You have to have a product that is much better than theirs, and you have to visually showcase that your product is better than theirs. So if you don't stand out, you get scrolled past. Amazon shoppers are spoiled for choice. Dozens of similar listings, all with prime and 4-star ratings. People are competing on price. It's an issue. You don't want to compete in that game. If your product looks and feels like everything else, it's invisible. Now, what is a unique value proposition? It is what makes a shopper say, oh, that's different, that's better, that's for me. Now, nowadays, it's going to be very hard to just have something that's totally aligned with the entire market and like it appeals to the entire general market. But what you can do is you can have a unique value proposition that only aligns with a certain demographic within that market. I'll explain what that means later on. Next thing, you never want to compete on price instead of value. Without a strong, unique value proposition, your only lever becomes pricing, and that's just a race to the bottom. Destroys your margins. Third reason, people don't know why they should buy your product. This is a very big issue. This is a question I always ask to clients. I'll have clients come to me and they'll say, my product's not selling. And then I'll be like, well, your product's not that different compared to the market. And then they'll be like, no, this is my unique value proposition. This is my value. This is my value. This is why they should buy my product. And then I always think back, okay, is this unique thing in your product so much of a difference? Is it so beneficial to the market that they'll buy your product over the competitors? And that's a question that most people have a hard time answering. Like, for example, some guy will say, I have a different color, I have a different design for a t-shirt. My general thought is, who said that's what the market wants? Who said they would rather want this design over that design, right? You have to really consider these things. A weak or generic offer leads to poor click-through rate and poor conversion, even with solid traffic. So you can have the best PPC, best traffic, best everything, but if your listing does not actually showcase why people should buy your product with its unique value, then it does not matter. 4, PPC fails because the product is not differentiated. Like I said, no matter how good your ads are, if your product isn't meaningfully different, shoppers bounce. Meaningfully different. Are you solving an actual problem in the market? This is the worst combo right here. A high cost per click, low conversion rate. You're burning cash all day, every day. Okay, now let's have a look at weak versus strong UVPs. A weak one, let's say you're selling a water bottle. just another black water bottle. You just have a different design. That's not a value proposition. What is a strong one? The only insulated bottle with a magnetic phone holder, perfect for workouts. Now this is very unique because you're targeting a specific demographic in this niche, right? People who want water bottles, but they want it a phone holder for it, which is perfect for workouts. Now you're very unique in the market, and people would rather buy your product versus a normal black water bottle. Next thing, basic collagen powder. Now a strong one, the only collagen made for women 30 plus with added ceramides for glowing skin. Now you target a specific segment of the market. Women 30 plus who want ceramides for glowing skin. Okay, that's your value proposition. You target that audience. You make your images and everything tailored to that audience. Next thing, just a yoga mat. Okay, just a yoga mat. Now we have a yoga mat designed for tall people, extra long, no slip grip, no awkward curls. So you have a very long yoga mat showcasing your images that's specifically designed for people in this demographic. This is a very strong way of how you can win the market nowadays, because you are attracting a small segment of the market, which is still very big, but your unique value proposition is just tailored to that, so that it's what makes you differentiate compared to everybody else in the market. So how do you create a strong, unique value proposition? Well, there's a few things here. First thing, solve specific pain points in the current market. Okay, noisy bleeders, quietest blender for early mornings. Easy. Okay, analyze all of your top competitors' poor reviews and use AI tools like ChatGPT to help you craft a better product. I'm gonna show you how to do that right now. So for this example, let's think like we're launching a cat scratching post. Okay, so what we would do, let's say for example that we had these competitors that were just had ratings below like 3.5, 3.7. So these guys don't, but just think in sake of the argument. Now, imagine this is our main competitor. What we want to do is, let's say they have a lot of reviews, but their ratings like 3.9, 3.6. We want to actually analyze their reviews. So go to Helium 10, hit the Chrome extension, review insights, okay? Once you come here, now we want to do this for like at least 5 of our main competitors, and we want to get all of their reviews and analyze what we can do to make this product better. Now, let's let this load a little bit. So we have all of these reviews here now. Now, what we want to do is we want to export all of these reviews so we can use ChatGPT to analyze it. We got it. Now I'm going to take you to ChatGPT. So when you use ChatGPT, just get it from the top right and insert it here. Now we're going to give it a prompt. Let's say this is one of my biggest competitors. I am looking to launch a better version. Oops, my spelling's so wrong. Analyze the reviews and give me the top 5 downsides of this product that I can improve upon. Let's have a look what it says. So I can analyze all of these reviews and give me exact reasons. And these are a lot of reviews, 1,000 reviews. And it's gonna give me exactly what are the issues here. Now, once we identify like a good batch of issues across all of these competitors, then we can actually figure out if we can make a better product compared to theirs. So I finished analyzing the reviews. It took a little bit of a while because there's like 1,000 reviews here. But let's see what are the top 5 downsides that they gave me. Number 1, breakage, on arrival or early damage. Okay, the product arrived broken or damaged. So, okay, can we make a better quality version of this? First thing you can add on. Poor build material, so better quality version. Solid wood, but cheap, flimsy. Okay, can we create a better version quality-wise? Unsafe or harmful sisal wrap. I don't even know what that means. The sisal thread sometimes come loose and cause injuries to cat. Okay, so the actual thread of the board, it's weak. So pretty much it's quality issues. Several units, a wider base. Okay, a wider base. Can we make it bigger? Support the height. Wider base for the heavy post. Okay. Non-functional. But you see how we have a good understanding of exactly how we can make the product better now. Higher quality, higher base. You know, now we can go to a bunch of different competitors and do the same thing, and we'll have a general consensus of what we can do to make the product better. This is one way you can get your unique value proposition in the market, and you're actually using data in the market from customers who buy these products and are not satisfied. Okay, another thing was call out a niche audience. Like I said, for tall women, for travel dads, for moms with twins, you know, there's so many unique things you can do. The more niche you get, remember, the less competition you're going to have. So one of the biggest pitfalls why most launches fail is having no reviews. That's a very big thing, having no reviews, or just being aggressive without any reviews. I don't care what people say, how good your product is, you need reviews to get sales on Amazon, or you need to vastly improve your chances of getting sales early on. So let's use this analogy. When was the last time you bought something that had like no reviews? Look at these products, 2 screwdrivers, one has 5,000 reviews, one has 8 reviews. Obviously, you can buy the 5,000 one, right? Even if this one's $2 more expensive, you're gonna buy this one over this one. Now think about it. It's just a screwdriver, right? They're the same exact product. There's no issue here. There's not like their unique value, but it's just based off of validity of the actual listing and its review count. So you always have to consider these things, okay? Everything comes down to validation, and how can customers decide to buy a product if nobody else has anything good to say about it? That's a very big thing. You need reviews. Now, what are the solutions to get reviews early on? There's a few things we can do. But at least you want to have at least 5 to 10 5-star reviews before going aggressive on PPC campaigns. Why do I say this? Because we need at least some proof and some reviews so we can start boosting our ranking. Because if we send all this traffic through advertising and PPC, people go to our listing, but there's no reviews, they're not going to buy a product. That's as simple as day. They'll go to scroll down, they'll see our competitors' listings, and they'll buy that. And then you're going to end up wasting a bunch of money on PPC. You're not going to rank, and then you're going to be in ground zero dead. So what are a few things you can do? Amazon Vine, if you're eligible. So you need to have your brand registered, but this is a great program if you want to get early reviews on, like 20 to 30. So you can get up to 30 reviews. So Jumpstart Social Proof for new products getting initial reviews. Helps you overcome the 0 review problem quickly. Essential for ranking and conversions. But what are the downsides to Amazon Vine? Downside, you have to get free samples. Okay, not as big of a downside because we just want to get more and more reviews. This is the downside right here. Customers are super transparent and naggy. They can leave ratings all over the place. So you can have 30 Vine reviews and you can end up with like a 3.5 star rating because customers are just like, oh, this product is good. It's not good. I don't like it. So you're going to end up just having, imagine if you have a 3.5 star with 30 reviews, it's going to be very hard to get that up higher and higher and higher, right? Because you're going to get more and more reviews. So your product launch might be dead right there. So I only recommend Vine if you have a killer product that's been tested and validated elsewhere, maybe throughout friends and family, because we want to make sure we get the strongest reviews from the get-go, and we don't want to send out all the samples and get tons of bad reviews initially because it's going to be very hard to overcome that. Second thing you can do, ask friends and family to buy it. This is a gray area tip, but one that a lot of people use. Instant social proof. You can quickly get like 5-10 reviews quickly. No one wants to be the first buyer, so you get 5 cents. You send out samples to your friends, family, tell them to try it out, and leave your honest thoughts about the product. What are the benefits over Vine? Obviously, you have control over initial perception. Since you know them, you can guide them to focus on the real strengths of the product while still being as authentic as possible. You can get your 5-star reviews, 4.5 star reviews, and you have more of a control in the say. But like I said, this is a gray area tip. What are the best practices for this? Don't buy the same product, the same IP addresses, same Amazon accounts. You don't want to do all this stuff. Put it in different time frames. Don't buy all the same product all in the same day. That's very unusual to Amazon. But yeah, this is something you should consider, but it is a gray area tip. So this is something people don't really utilize or do before the product launch, but it's really useful. And that is doing a launch group or a Kickstarter or having a pre-launch buyer list. Now, if you don't know, if your product is so good, even before you launch it, you can get investors to put money into the product because they love the idea so much. And that when it launches, they'll buy the product right away and they'll leave reviews. Also having a pre-launch buyer list. So if you don't know, Kickstarter is very good for this. You launch product, you say, hey, this is the product idea. And people will even give you money trying to launch this product because it's so unique in the market. And you can give them a free sample right when the product launches and everything. So it's a curated group of real people. It's not friends or family who are interested in your product before it even hits Amazon and can even help you fund it. Now you build out this listing before launching. So when your product goes live, you can drive immediate sales, early reviews, improve your keyword ranking, and get feedback on your product or offer. This is perfect for your honeymoon phase. Let's say, for example, you have 100 people on your email list who are ready to buy this product. Your product launches, you send all of them your link like, hey, the product's live, blah, blah, blah. They all buy the product. And the odds are they're going to be really impressed with your product because they're on your buyer list already. And they were already interested before the product even went live. So that increases the chances of them leaving good reviews now. Now you're in a really good position right out the gate. So why does it work? These buyers are warms. They opted in because they're interested in your niche or product type, already more likely to leave you a good review, like I just said. You've nurtured them. That's the biggest thing. They're nurtured. You're not violating any of Amazon's policies. You're just sending people who want the product to your listing ready to buy. Another good thing, traffic looks organic, especially if you guide them to search for your product using keywords. Now, this is something you could do. This is sort of against terms of services. But imagine you have a main keyword, right? This is your main keyword and you want to rank on this keyword. You tell them, hey, search this keyword on Amazon, find my product, and buy it. they're going to buy your product anyways, but this really helps with your ranking on that. Now, how do you set up a launch group and actually get people to sign up? Biggest thing, like I said, your unique value proposition. Have a unique and awesome product that the market is craving for, solves a dying need, and you can even offer like exclusive discounts or bonus for early adopters. Like through your email list, you can offer a free sample, anything like that. Second thing is drive signups before launch using TikTok Reels, IG, Reddit, niche forums, personal network. Create a network before you even launch the product so that when you launch it, you already have like 100 of buyers ready to buy your product. And that will do so good for your organic ranking. Another thing you can do, run low budget IG, Facebook ads, meta ads. The cost per lead can be low if the hook is good. So what you can do is you can actually create a Shopify storefront link and people actually buy your product. You can tell them, hey, I'm not in stock right now, but when I'm in stock, I'll give you a free sample. You add them to your email list and then you already have a buyer there ready to buy on Amazon. Okay. Another thing, build anticipation and trust before launch. Launch day, you activate the group when your product goes live, send them a message. Product's live, go to Amazon, search the brand, search the keyword to grab your keywords before we sell out. This drives insane keyword-rich traffic and purchases. Then like a week later, 2 weeks later, you can follow up because you have their email. You have their on their email list like, hey, hope you love the product. If you have feedback, leave an honest review. And this is amazing. If done successfully with the amazing product, you will garner an insane amount of reviews early on, and you can just keep going up, keep going up, keep going up. Another issue why most launches fail, having bad main image and a bad infographics. Your main image is literally 50% of the reason people will buy your product versus competitors. So make sure you nail your main image. Your main image is the number one factor that drives click-through rate. If you don't know, click-through rate is the rate at people click your product compared to your market average. So a better main image, higher click-through rate, you get more traffic, better conversion, and better ranking. So if your main image sucks, no one's going to click your product. It doesn't matter how good your product is. Amazon rewards listings that get clicked more often, even before conversion. Okay? Your click-through rate directly impacts your organic ranking because Amazon's algorithm favors listings with strong engagement. They want to get more people to click on your ads. They want to make more money off of you. And if people click your ad more and more and more, they're more inclined to actually show it to people. Now, what examples of good main images? Let's say you're selling a toy laser for cats. This is a bad one. It's just the actual product that doesn't show any unique value proposition. This one actually shows the laser. It shows which cats it's meant for, which demographic, and it shows the actual charging component. That's why this listing does 10,000 units a month. This one does 1,000 units a month. Okay. Now we have a look at here. This is baby carriers. Baby carrier, it shows the actual mom. This is the demographic who's going to buy the product, the mom and the baby. If you're selling a baby product, why is the baby not included in the actual image? Okay. You have the mom, you have the baby, and you have both of them using the product together. This one is just a carrier. This does not give you any feeling of anything. This one gives you feeling. Imagine if you're a mom trying to buy this thing. You see someone who's just like you holding a baby. You're going to buy this one, not this one. So that's a very simple thing you got to get through your head. So how do you figure out what's the best main image for your product? One thing is identify all the best practices from your top competitors' main images. So analyze all of your competitors' main images, their packaging, their headers, color, design, what they've included in the image. So you can include this in yours because obviously if it's working for them, it should then work for you. Then what you want to do is you want to A/B test a bunch of your main images through a product opinion or a PickFu. So if you don't know, like PickFu is a platform where you can A/B test products, images, titles, everything, and you can get real-time people who fit your demographic to analyze the product. So let's say I'm selling a dog collar. I can set the criteria to only target people who have a dog, who own a dog, and you say, these are 2 images, these are the 5 images. Which one do you prefer for your dog collar? They'll give you answers in real time, and they'll also give you explanations as to why they like this one over the other one. So you want to use real-time data, I really recommend you use like a PickFu or something like that. So once you identify the main winners, you need to run real-time Amazon tests through Manager Experiments. So Amazon has something inside of it called Manager Experiments. If you're brand registered, you can have one image run a test for 2 weeks and then another one for 2 weeks using real-time data. And then after that time period, use the data to find what your winning product was. So you can use the same formula, A/B test to PickFu or product opinion, and just, run these tests, and you can figure out which one fits the best for you based off the data. The one downside is you can't use like videos or infographics for Amazon Manager Experiments. That only works for like your title, your bullet points, and your main images, but you can still use PickFu and external methods for your secondary images. Another reason why most launches fail is having a weak SEO optimized listing. Before you launch your product, you should know which keywords you need to include in your listing, your title, your copy, bullet points, and the campaigns you're going to start running PPC for. So if you haven't done this, you must create a master keyword list. Now, if you don't know what a master keyword list is, it's pretty much like this, where it showcases your top competitors all in here, and you get a bunch of keywords that they're ranking for, okay? A bunch of keywords. Look at how many keywords I have in here. I can't even like show you how many there are. Like 20,000 keywords that competitors are ranking for. And then obviously you're gonna filter out the most important ones by like how relevant they are, what's the search volume, and so on and so forth. Then like for example here, I have showcased the main keywords here. What you wanna do is then you wanna create your copy built around this, right? You wanna create your title, bullet points, backend terms, crawlable text, alt text, everything. Because it's a combination of SEO and PPC that will bring traffic onto your actual Amazon listing. Now, what is the main method for this? Identify up to 9 of your main competitors who perform the best sellers. You figure out which top keywords they are ranked high for, all of them, right? So high to me is above an organic rank of 30 at least, because let's say you have 9 competitors on a single keyword who are ranked really high for it. The odds are you're gonna have a good chance of ranking on this keyword, especially if your product is very, very similar. So you can use AI tools like Helium 10's listing builder plus listing analyzer, or you can use the Zong Guru to help you create these listings fully optimized. But you really want to do this because a lot of these relevant keywords will be running PPC campaigns to boost ranking on those. So yeah, you always want to consider it. It's a combination of your SEO and your listing copy, PPC, pricing, images, reviews, unique value proposition. That's how you're going to succeed. Another pitfall, and one that I actually fell for, is having a poor pricing strategy when you launch out. So too many times we get questions as to why sales are not growing. And once we have a look, it's either one of these 3 things. You have poor images or unique or no unique value proposition. You have low reviews and you have horrible pricing. Now, what do I mean by horrible pricing? That means your price pretty much the same as your competitors, but you have no unique value proposition. They have way more reviews than you, and the images are better. Why would anybody buy your product over theirs? That does not make sense. Especially if you're launching a product, the goal is not to make money. You have to understand this. It's not to make money as much as we wish it was. But nowadays on Amazon, it takes 2 to 3 months just to get enough sales velocity to get more organic ranking, and then you have more and more sales, and you can start focusing on profit. But the first thing is we need to generate sales velocity. You need sales to get sales on Amazon. That's like, as contradiction that is, you need sales to make sales on Amazon, because spending money on PPC in the launch honeymoon phase is meant to drive sales velocity and get your products to page 1 for your keywords. So we want to maximize our conversion rate and people clicking onto our listing. How do we do that? We have a pricing strategy that is comfortable enough for us and for the customer to want to buy our product. So we need to maximize everything. Now, this is the issue. Here's the issue with worrying about profit and pricing in the honeymoon phase. You have like literally no reviews while your competitors have thousands of reviews. If you keep your pricing the same as them, think about it. It might take you 5 to 7 clicks to get a sale. But now let's say you reduce your price. Now it might take you 2 to 3 clicks to generate a sale, right? And that's gonna help with your ranking, sales velocity. Unless your product's out of this world, no one's gonna buy your listing versus competitor with 1,000 reviews. So you must give them a reason to buy. Cheaper pricing, bundles, packs, better main image, better packaging. Not having amazing pricing in the launch phase really hurts your sales velocity, which ruins your honeymoon phase, which doesn't help your organic ranking. Okay, remember, you need sales to get sales on Amazon. Your goal, ideally, in my opinion, it should be to break even within the first 2 to 3 months of launching on Amazon, as long as it helps you get your product on page 1 for your main keywords. That's the number one thing. It's fine if you break even and you get a lot of sales and you're tracking your keyword ranking and it's going up, and you have a lot more sales going in. So this is our pricing playbook for a launch strategy, okay? This strategy creates maximum sales velocity with the goal of obtaining the newest bestseller badge on Amazon. So week 1, if you're aggressive, 50% below your target price. 50% because we just want to get sales initially. We want to get a lot more sales. That's the biggest thing. Week 2, if stuff goes well, 40%. Week 3, 35. 30% below. 25, 20, 10. Week 8, target price. So maybe 2 weeks down the line, 2 months down, you're actually at your target price. Okay? But the number one thing is you must make sure you track your numbers throughout this whole process, because every launch is different. You have to adjust based off what's working and what's not working. For example, let's say week 1, you're priced 50% below. Maybe you still don't generate any sales. Maybe the people are still not buying your product. You might have to drop it to 60% below target price. You're going to have to analyze further, see if you get more and more sales. Now, let's say in week 4, you're 30% below target price. Maybe you're selling your product out like crazy. You're going to run out of stock, so on and so forth. So then you can increase your price to your target price. So you really have to test stuff out and see what's working for you in your market. The entire goal of your product launch is to generate sales, validate your product idea, not make profit. Another reason, one of the most important reasons why product launches fail is having a poor PPC strategy. So you can launch the best product in the world, but if you don't have the proper strategies to get eyeballs to your customers, it does not matter. If no one can see your listing, it does not matter how good your product is. So what do we recommend for PPC strategy when you start out? There's a few things we recommend. Start strong. Like I said, at first get 5 to 10 reviews before you go aggressive on PPC, because we don't want to just waste money because no one's buying our listing. So what do we recommend? Launch 3 auto campaigns, and we're going to launch a close match, okay, a substitute, and a complement. These are your discovery campaigns, so we can get more additional keywords and listings we convert well on. So we let these run for weeks to see if we can get more keywords that we were initially not tracking, that we are still converting really, really well for, and then we can launch our own campaigns for these, right? That's the biggest thing. Let's say if there's a competitor listing that we convert well for, we can put that in a new campaign and target that directly. Next thing, using the master keyword list we created, where we found the keywords, add up to 5 keywords max in manual campaigns. Now this is set up for manual campaigns, okay? You have exact match keywords, phrase match keywords, and then we have ASIN, auto campaign, broad keywords, okay? Obviously, exact match is the highest relevant and the conversion potential, but this is gonna be the most expensive, okay? Phrase match, a tier below, still really good. It's broader reach with good relevance. It's still in the same tier for those keywords. Then these ones are the ones we wanna sort of broaden our horizon and see what else we can get sales from. So ASIN targeting, auto campaigns, and broader campaigns, and then we want to test it all out. Each campaign has their own purpose, so we prioritize budget based on that. Auto campaigns, broad campaigns, typically between $10 to $15 each per day. Now this depends on really what your budget is and how aggressive you want to go, but this is the general thing we like to do. Goal of these campaigns to find more keywords, ASINs we convert well for, like I said. We want to control this spend, or else it can go out of control and waste money on irrelevant terms. Now, there's gonna be a lot of terms coming from these campaigns, a lot of different terms. So you want to make sure you are constantly optimizing, getting rid of stuff that's spending a lot of money, like $20 with no buyers. You want to negate stuff like that. So you constantly want to optimize this stuff. Next, we have exact and phrase campaigns, typically between $20 to $30 per day. Now, why is this? These are aggressive campaigns because we want to get sales velocity and keyword ranking. We already identified through the master keyword list, these are the most important keywords for our market. So obviously we want to get our ranking as high as we want for this, okay? We typically are targeting the keywords with the highest search volume and relevancy to our product. So that's why we want a good enough budget. Like I said, this budget is open to interpretation based on how aggressive you are, how many campaigns you have, how many keywords you're targeting, right? Lower the campaigns and keywords, the more you prioritize the budget for those. Now, in terms of bidding strategy, we like to do dynamic bid down only. We don't want Amazon to spend money when it's not converting. That's a big thing. Now, budget monitoring and optimization. Do not be too eager to optimize the data. Let the data run. The main goal of the first 1 to 2 weeks is just to garner data. We need data to figure out what's working and what's not working, so then we can optimize for that. Now, what do we recommend for optimization? So first days 1 to 3 to 4, let it run, observe the spend, observe the click-through rate. You'll have an idea of which campaigns spend the most, the ones that run out like halfway throughout the day, the ones that are underspending, so on and so forth. Day 4 and 7, you can cut the obvious losers. Now, what are obvious losers? Like I said, they spend more than $20, they get no sales. They have like a ROAS below 1. They're just super unprofitable. Maybe even the keyword itself is just not relevant for your product. Also, what you can do is raise bids on winners. So you see campaigns which are getting a lot more sales, but they're running out throughout the day. You want to add more budget to that, okay? Now, day 8, let's see a week down the line. What you want to do is refine your match types, add new converting keywords, split into new campaigns. So now you have enough data to actually go in, negate stuff, maybe add new campaigns to their own, add keywords to their own campaigns, negate stuff, proper budget allocation for this campaign versus that campaign, all sorts of stuff. Lastly, after about 1 to 2 weeks of data, go into your search term reports and analyze all of the data, especially for those auto campaigns, those broader campaigns, and those product targeting campaigns. We want to analyze what's working and what's not working. So what you can do is you negate bad spending that does not convert. You find hidden gem keywords. This is one of the most important things of auto campaigns and broad campaigns. Like there's a lot of keywords which we may not have initially thought we are converting well for, but you go check data and we have a high conversion rate on these, we can then take these keywords and put them in their own campaigns and start ranking on those. Also, like I said, you find competitive listings that you convert well for, so we can aggressively target them and steal their sales. Biggest thing, make sure to track your keyword ranking progression. There's no point in running all these campaigns, spending all this money, getting sales velocity, if we don't know which keywords are working the best for our ranking, okay? We want to dominate the honeymoon phase. Prioritize sale volume over profit in the first 20 to 40 days, drive traffic to boost organic ranking and visibility. This is your blueprint for growth. So last thing I want to quickly go over is using external traffic to boost your ranking. So driving external traffic to your Amazon listing is one of the most powerful strategies for improving your organic ranking. Amazon heavily rewards products that attract customers from outside sources, giving them a significant competitive advantage. Nowadays, brands that launch on TikTok Shop and bring a lot of traffic onto the Amazon are dominating the absolute market because they're getting so much traffic externally that's helping them with their Amazon ranking. Same thing goes for Google Ads, launch groups, anything. The more traffic you bring off of Amazon, the more Amazon rewards you for it. So I'd really look into these things. I would focus mostly on TikTok influencers. This is a really big thing. I have a bunch of videos going over how brands absolutely crush it on Amazon using TikTok marketing and affiliates and getting so much additional traffic. So I would definitely also look into these things. Okay, to finish up, what to do if you followed all this stuff, but you're not getting sales. So this is a troubleshooting checklist. First thing is main image. Analyze your click-through rate compared to the market average. Is it low? Is it way below? Is it higher? Consider these things because then you know, okay, I have to improve my main image. Keywords. Is your listing fully optimized with your most important keywords? Create those master keyword lists. Analyze through Helium 10. Use Cerebro. See if these main keywords are in your listing, you're titled or not, and add it. Next thing, pricing. Follow the pricing structure I showed above. You know, if you're not getting sales, reduce the pricing. Analyze for a week more. See if you get more sales. Track all of this data. Reviews. Do I have enough reviews in comparison to market average? Like I said, at least 5 to 10 reviews. Maybe you need more in your market, right? It all depends on how much competitors you have in the market. Last thing, PPC. Analyze data. Find other highly relevant keywords. Prioritize those that bring sales. Remember, there is always a root cause as to why you're not getting sales. You just have to find where it is. Whether that's your product's not good enough, your images are not good enough, you don't have enough reviews, but there is always a root cause. One last tip is you want to track your KPIs daily. So you should know exactly what you want to track even before you start launching on Amazon. That's your click-through rate, your conversion rate, your tacos, your ROAS, and your ACoS. Some brands optimize for one certain thing, some like other things. Like some brands like your ACoS, some brands like to do ROAS. But you have to follow through and actually analyze what's the progression in all of these things. You know, you can create a graph and go over exactly, is my conversion rate going up? Is my tacos going down? Is it going down? Because then you can go back and analyze why this stuff is. You know, through this list right here, the troubleshooting list, you can analyze exactly why this is. So now that you have the launch framework knocked down, the next thing is setting up proper PPC campaigns. So in this next section, I'm gonna go over exactly how we do keyword research, what sort of campaigns to set up, what your ideal mindset and like theology should be in the launch phases, and exactly how we can optimize those campaigns once they're up and running for a few weeks. We took a stagnant Amazon brand doing around 200K a month and scaled them up to 700K a month peak. And it wasn't just by spending more on PPC. It was a structured PPC launch plan. I'm gonna go over with you all of that in this video right here. So here's some quick results from a bunch of campaigns that we did for clients, some launch campaigns, some display campaigns, everything. So I'm gonna show you exactly how we did this for them and exactly how you can set up these campaigns for your launch successfully. So if you have a look at the campaigns, this one spent 32,000, got 109,000 at almost 6 ROAS. This one almost a 5. 3.7, 4, 3.5, and then from this 200K to 720K, this one 286 to 350K. So in this video, I'm gonna walk you through exactly the step-by-step process we use to launch products on Amazon with PPC. And I'll show you everything. I'm gonna show you how to do proper keyword research, first of all, how to figure out all the keywords relevant for our product before we even launch our product. Secondly, I want how to structure your campaigns from day one, which campaigns to set up, which match types and everything. What bids and budgets to set. This is very, very important. Do we go aggressive? Do we not go aggressive out the bat? How to optimize them during the crucial honeymoon launch phases, which is very, very important as we want to maximize this. And lastly, how to keep momentum going to successfully launch a new product. Also, if you want access to the document I'm going to go over in this video, it should be one of the links in the bio where you can just download it right away. So before we get into the nitty gritty, I want to first go over what your launch mindset should be for your PPC campaigns. As a lot of people get this wrong, I did it when I first started out, but this is very, very important. The entire point of the entire launch is we're not trying to get profitability right away. We want data plus ranking plus honeymoon success. We need sales, okay? We need sales. We don't have to be stingy regarding profit margins and everything, as if you go that route, you're not going to grow at all, and you're going to waste this entire phase, and you're going to just, it's going to be a horrible product launch. So we do not want this. The entire goal of the launch is get as many sales as fast as possible out the door, because this is how Amazon tracks our product and sees that we're getting a lot of sales velocity, and we start getting more and more organic ranking, and ideally we're getting our product up to page 1 for all of our relevant keywords. Now, if you focus on profit during a launch, you're going to be screwed, because first of all, you're not going to have as much reviews compared to your competitors, so naturally your conversion rate is going to be lower, okay? Now, your pricing might be the same as them also, so why would they choose your product over theirs? That doesn't make sense from a basic consumer standpoint, okay? That's why we need a lower price, because we want to improve our conversion rate. We want to get more clicks, and we need to get more sales out the door, okay? You need sales to make sales on Amazon. As unserious as that sounds, that is just the goal. We need sales to make sales, because more sales gets us higher organic rankings, okay? So you must be comfortable with break even or no profit for at least the first 2 months, okay? Amazon is super competitive nowadays. We have to really lock this in. It's a mindset thing. And once we get this through the door, then we won't be super uncomfortable when spend is going up or ACoS is sort of up. We have to first understand this. So what you also must know is, what is your break-even ACoS versus your target ACoS before launch, okay? So what do I mean by break-even ACoS? This is the ACoS level that where we get enough sales that we're just at break-even, okay? After every fee, Amazon fees, cost of goods, PPC, we're break-even. We're not losing money and we're not making money. And ideally, this is pretty good during the launch phase if it goes successfully. Obviously, we want to be profitable, but even if you're at this stage, it's pretty good, okay? Now, your target ACoS is what you want to be in order to get your maximum profitability. Once your product's actually live, you have good ranking, and you just focus on profitability, okay? So we know our break-even ACoS. Now we should know our target ACoS, okay? So for example, break-even ACoS might be 35%, okay? And our target ACoS is we want to go to 20%, because that's where we maximize profitability. Maybe we have a 30% profit margin after all that. But we must understand this, because this is how we're going to use to track our actual PPC results through our campaigns and everything. Okay, another mindset shift. ACoS is not the only thing we're trying to look at, okay? ACoS does not equal profit. It is just a metric shown of exactly how that campaign was performing as a whole based on the numbers. But what it does not take into account is the number of organic sales. So that's why we must also analyze TACoS, okay? If you don't know what that means, that is our total advertising cost of sale. It shows the real picture, because it shows our organic sales plus our paid combined, okay? Now, why is this very, very important? Ideally, your TACoS should naturally go down once you get more and more sales, because we're starting to rank higher and higher and higher for our certain keywords, and we're getting a lot of more organic sales. When someone's searching for our product, they find our product naturally on the first page, and they buy our product, and we didn't have to pay a single dime for it. So that's very, very important. Another thing is, a high ACoS can be strategic during the launch phase, as it fuels ranking and review velocity. So do not be super scared of having an ACoS of 50%, 60%. If your sales are going good, that is actually a really, really good thing, because we know our product has validity. We can just, over time, we naturally bring that down lower as we improve our conversion rate, click-through rate, get more reviews, and then optimize our campaigns further. But do not get super fixated on that metric. You only want to get super fixated on a high ACoS if you aren't getting enough sales from that, or you're not getting enough organic ranking from that. So that's an issue on your actual conversion rate, on your listing, your actual product itself, or on the campaigns you're targeting, keywords, so on and so forth. Okay, another very, very important thing. Do not run aggressive campaigns unless you have at least 5 reviews bare minimum. Okay, this is very, very important. If you don't have reviews on Amazon, you're probably gonna have a really, really low conversion rate unless your product is super unique in the market, which most people are not gonna have that, right? So we need some sort of validity. And if you run these aggressive campaigns trying to rank on these keywords and people just are clicking your listing but there's no reviews, nothing, we're wasting money, and it's signaling to Amazon that people go to our product but they don't actually convert on it, which means something's wrong with our listing. So do not run aggressive campaigns unless you have 5 reviews. If you don't know how to get reviews, there's a bunch of strategies out there. I'll probably link a video somewhere above here. But this is very important because you're going to be wasting money if you do this. Another very important thing is auto and broad campaigns are your best friends during this launch phase, okay? And it's crucial that we start running these, okay? So if you don't know why, auto campaigns are pretty much our keyword discovery machine. They're always going to find new opportunities for us in the market that we didn't initially find through our market research, which I'm going to go over with you in this video. So it's very, very important. It also helps us showcase products we convert well for or don't convert well for. It is pretty much our testing. It is our A/B testing of our entire product, our campaign, the market. So you must run a lot of auto campaigns because we need a lot of data in the beginning. We have no data to go off of. You might think you convert well on this keyword, but unless you actually start running it, you have no idea. So auto campaigns automatically do this for us, okay? Broad, same sort of strategy. Long tail ranking opportunities. So we know these root keywords we're going to go over in this video. These are the root ones, but we really want to put them in broad campaigns because there's so many long tail versions of it that we might convert well for that we didn't initially think. So both feed into exact campaigns later if they convert well. So it's very, very important. And what you must understand is auto and broad campaigns usually are much cheaper, have a lower cost per click than an exact or phrase. So it's also you're saving your budget as long as you know how to properly manage it. So the first thing we're going to go over in this video is the pre-launch research. Before any campaigns, we don't have any keyword data. We don't know what we're going to target. So we must make a list of keywords that we know once our product goes live, we're targeting all these keywords one by one and starting to rank, okay? So I'm going to show you exactly how to do this using a master keyword list and how we're going to compile that. Now, when we make this list, it's going to segment keywords by certain intents. We have primary keywords, secondary keywords, discovery keywords. All have their main focus. Primary obviously the most important keywords for our product. Secondary is going to be supporting, sort of in the same realm. And discovery is stuff we really want to test out and see if it converts well or not, okay? Now, why does this matter? It ensures we know the most relevant keywords our competitors rank high for. This is very important. If we know our competitors rank really high for this keyword, high chance that we can probably convert well for it as long as our listing is good, okay? So pair target campaigns with discovery campaigns, like I said, the auto and broad campaigns, and that is very, very important. So for this example, I'm going to be using an ergonomic chair, like the one I'm sitting on right now. Now imagine I'm launching a new variation of this in the market and I'm trying to figure out all the relevant keywords for this. So I know right out the gate, we have a successful product launch. So I'm gonna go over exactly how we create a master keyword list for this product. So what we're gonna do is use a third-party software like Helium 10, Jungle Scout, or even Data Drive. I'm gonna use Helium 10 because I'm most comfortable with it. But pretty much like I'm using Helium 10, go to Helium 10 Cerebro. Now this is gonna show us exactly all the most relevant keywords for our product. Now what I'm gonna do here, I'm gonna go into the actual market for ergonomic chairs. And I'm going to find 10 of the most similar products like ours, okay? These are literally direct competitors of us. So we know their customers are going to be our customers for the most part. So I'm going to handpick and figure out what are the most relevant ones for us. So for example, this is one I think that is super relevant for us, ergonomic chair. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this ASIN here, like this doing 2.1 million, okay? So I'm going to take that ASIN and I'm literally going to go here, I'm going to put this in, and I'm going to try to find 10 of the most exact closest competitors to us. And once we do that, then we're going to get all the keywords for this. Cool, so I picked 10 competitors right here. Once we have all these ASINs in here, just hit get keywords, and then it's gonna load all the keywords for us. So finish loading. Now we have all of these keywords here. You see all of these keywords we have here? How many do we have here? We have 12,000 keywords. Now obviously this is way too much. Like we need to filter this down to like hundreds of keywords, okay? Now how do we do this? First of all, just go to search volume. Obviously, for our campaigns, we're all gonna target keywords that have search volume that people are actively searching for. So I would set it to a minimum of 500 over here. Just like, let's see 500. What does it bring us to now? 500 brings us to 1631. So that's pretty much good right there. Next step is where we can actually go through and filter the data out. But once you have this many keywords, hit search volume, go highest to lowest. Once we're here, I want you to hit export data, export as a CSV file. Okay, then we want to go to a Google Sheet, okay, brand new Google Sheet, hit file here, and we're going to hit open. Upload, and then your file should be somewhere right over here. This is the file I just got. Hit it here, and then it's gonna showcase all the data here. Now we can go directly in Google Sheets and we can filter out and figure out the most relevant keywords for our product right here. So first thing out the bat, hit this one right here. We want this stuff to stay still, so we're gonna hit view and we're gonna hit freeze first row. Now we can scroll down peacefully and figure out all the keywords. Now there's too many filters here, so I'm gonna actually cut out a bunch to make this as simple as possible. So Cerebro IQ score, we do not need this. We need keyword sales, search volume, all this stuff. You can literally just copy me and we can go for it. We can hit delete all those. CPR we can have, title and C we can have. This we can delete also. Stop up to here, hit delete. So this position rank is actually the first listing that we put in here. So in this example, it was this ASIN over here. So we still want to keep this here, just change this to competitor. Okay, and then let's just delete all these until we hit this next ASIN right here. So we'll go there and we'll hit delete. Now we are chilling. Okay, honestly, you know what we can do here? So this ASIN was this one. If I can just copy and paste this one, I'll just put it in here. So here was the first ASIN. I'm just literally just copy it. I'm gonna go back here. I put competitor here. I'm gonna just change it here. Boom. Now we're done. Okay. So we have all the phrases here on the left side, the number of keyword sales to bring in, search volume, CPR, I'll go over what that means, how many are in the actual titles, and these are all of the competitors. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, now 10. Now we know exactly which keywords we can target. Next thing, and arguably the most important thing, and the whole point of this is next to title entity, so right before the first ASIN, hit this arrow here, and we're gonna hit insert one column right. We're going to label this relevancy, okay? This is going to showcase how relevant this keyword is to these competitors of ours, so we know exactly that we should target these further. So relevancy, now I'm going to input a formula right here, okay? So copy along. Equals count if, okay? Now, once that's here, I want you to just literally copy every ASIN up to here, okay? So we went to all the ASINs and we copied it. Now, what I'm going to do here, I'm going to hit comma, space, and then the bracket right there. Now, this is where we set the criteria. So personally, I'm looking for keywords that our competitors are ranked at least in the top 30 spots organically for, because that's the first page of Amazon. If we don't know, if your product's not on the first page for these keywords, no one's going to see it, okay? So we want to target keywords that all our competitors are on first page for, because that increases the likelihood that we can also be on the first page of it. And that is typically at least top 30 organic rankings. So I'm going to put bigger sign, bigger than 30. So all of these competitors are ranked above top 30 organic rank for these keywords. Then I'm going to hit the sign again, ibuprofen, and then close it with the bracket. So you look at it right there. That's the formula. Then I'm going to hit enter. Enter, and then just literally hit this autofill. Now we have all of the keywords here. I'm literally going to color this. Let's color it a specific color. We'll go, see, I messed up there. So we'll literally color it blue. So these are the relevancy. Now we can identify what are the most relevant keywords here. So I'm gonna hit this arrow up here, and we're gonna sort the sheet Z to A, okay? Now we have the most relevant keywords, okay? So for example, this Japanese keyword, we're not gonna use it, right? But it has a relevancy of 9. That means that 9 of the ASINs here are ranked in the top 30 results for this. So 3, 13, 2, 11, 29. So we know that for some reason, this is super relevant for us. This is probably like a, if I can literally go to Google Translate, I'll be like ergonomic chair or something. Google Translate. So let's put it here. Oops, nope, messed up here. Ergonomic chair. So it's literally a Japanese version of ergonomic chair. And I don't know why people are searching for it in the US or Chinese, sorry. But this keyword is super relevant for us. So honestly, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna sort by relevancy how important these keywords are, and I'm gonna color code every single one. So 9, 8, and 7, I'm gonna put as the most important keywords for us. So you can literally go here. It's all sorted like this, and let's give it its own color. Like I said, I'll give it the blue one I already gave before. Now we can go to 6, 5, and 4 maybe, for example. Let's see how many of these go to. 6, 5, 4. Let's see what 4 stops. Because we only want the most relevant keywords. Go there, and let's give it its own color. We'll give it green. Honestly, these other keywords here we can look into, but if it has a relevancy of 3, that means only 3 competitors are ranked high for it. For example, office chair. This is way too broad for us. We're an ergonomic chair. Office chair has so many different products. And if all our competitors aren't ranked well for it, it's probably not a good idea to target this in our campaigns, as we're going to have a really low conversion rate and click-through rate, and we're going to waste a lot of money. So for now, only focus on the most relevant ones, the 9s, 8s, 7s, 6s, 5s typically. So next thing, we color coded everything. We know what's the most important ones. Now, next thing, most important, hit search volume up here, sort sheet Z to A, okay? Now we have the most highest search volume keywords that are most relevant for us. Okay, computer chair, okay? Ergonomic office chair, very important keyword. This is a very important keyword. Look at this one. Search volume is 77,000, okay? And we have a relevancy of 6. 6 of our 10 competitors are ranked in the top 30 for this. So we know there's a good chance for us to rank higher for this. Now, what I'm gonna do for this is exactly, I'm gonna go into this, I'm gonna create a new sheet, and I'm gonna call it keywords, okay? We're literally gonna go here, keywords. And we're gonna filter out all the keywords by how important they are. So I'm literally gonna go here, I'm gonna copy the top because these are the columns that we have. I just wanna make it as structured as possible for us to read. So let's go over there and let's go for these keywords. So ergonomic office chair. Go here, copy, go here, paste, okay? We're gonna do that for a bunch of keywords. So what I want you to do is filter this out exactly how I set it out. So I have primary keywords here, secondary keywords, discovery keywords, okay? So primary keywords, these are the most relevant for us, obviously. Secondary are gonna be important still, but you know, there's more room to wiggle. And discovery is gonna be those keywords we're trying to discover new opportunities for. We wanna filter and segment this properly like this, because once we actually go to make the campaigns, we know exactly how to, what is the intent behind each campaign, how much to bid, how many keywords to put. So we know exactly what's the best plan going forward. So what I'm literally gonna do is I'm gonna handpick one by one the keywords to show how important they are. So computer chair, look at that, relevancy of 4. And so like this keyword we might convert well for, but let's see where we can actually put this. It's a primary keyword, but only 4 competitors are ranked 5 for it, but it's also an important keyword. So I'm gonna put it in the primary keywords, okay? Now we just keep going down the list and see what else is there. So these two are the most relevant keywords for us. Now let's keep adding more and more keywords. Let's keep going down the list. Let's see what's the next one. We can go here, office chair. See, office chair, relevancy of 4, good search volume. So it's high, but it's less than 50% of our competitors are ranked for this keyword. So to be honest, I'll put this in a secondary keyword because we might not convert well for it, but we can, sort of at least try it out and build campaigns for it. Chairs, that's way too broad. You really have to go through one by one and figure out, okay? Ergonomic chair, I think we already went over this, but this is gonna be our most important keyword, so we know exactly who to target that because we color coded it blue. That was the most important color here. Home office desk chairs, okay? Another one, sort of relevant, but only 4 of our competitors are ranked top 30 for it. I'm gonna put this in the secondary keyword again. So I'm gonna do this for a bunch of keywords. So I'll show you exactly how we can sort of filter out and make it as fast as possible. So this keyword also sort of relevant for us, but it's the green one. So I'm gonna put it over here. Okay, now if I want to find more primary keywords, I'm gonna go up here. I'm gonna sort it by relevancy. So sort it by relevancy. Now obviously we want the ones with the most search volume, okay? So let's go over one by one. See who, I think this is a brand name, ergonomic chair. I think, did I already put ergonomic chair? I put ergonomic office chair. So that's a variation, that's a phrase match for ergonomic chair, but this is also another one, very important. So let's go to primary keywords, put that keyword right there. So we know how to segment this. Sort of the same thing, ergonomic office chair, lumbar support, okay? Lumbar support office chair. 7 competitors ranked high for it, decent search volume. So why not? Let's go and let's put it here. See, it's a game, it's sort of fun. You just find all these keyword opportunities here that you would have never thought of before. Now, obviously, we want the ones with the highest search volume. So just really look down and see what we can target. See, the next keyword here, ergonomic office chair, that has the highest search volume. And we put it over here. So we know this keyword is going to be super, super important for us to really target, right? But we can keep on going down and figuring out more opportunities. So there's so many keywords here, but we're trying to figure out, there's a lot of variations here of different phrases that are sort of the same thing that we're targeting. And we can figure out how to do this through a lot of campaigns. But we're trying to figure out the keywords that are a little bit different from each other. Like office chair, ergonomic lumbar support, we already had one like that. Trait office chair, that might be a brand name. We have to double check that. Best office chair for lower back pain. See, this is a little bit different now because relevancy of 6, and we know, okay, this is a little bit of a different keyword. Best office chair for lower back pain. I'm gonna go and put that as a primary keyword because we don't want too many similar keywords. You see all these, they're sort of like branches from each other. We want to find as many keywords that are a little bit different from each other, but are still relevant for our product. Here's another one, office chair with headrest. Pretty important for us, ranked 6 relevancy, good search volume. Put that there. And I'm just trying to find so many keyword opportunities that are sort of in the same realm, but are a little bit different for targeting. Because you have to consider, now each of these keywords are gonna have different variations for these specific keywords. Now it's a whole branch, because if you have 3 different keywords, each one will branch to a different keyword, branch into another one, so on and so forth. And you never know which one will convert well for. Now this keyword will have its own branch, this one will have its own branch. So it's very important to try to figure out as many opportunities, especially in that beginning launch phase, because we're just trying to discover new opportunities that we might convert well for. Okay, cool. I've pretty much finished my master keyword list and I've extracted most of the keywords. So I'll go over exactly what it looks like. Yours should look like something very similar to this. So if we go to primary keywords, these are going to be keywords that have the highest relevancy for the most part, 7, 6, 8. This one only has a 4 because of high search volume, so I included in here. You really can have to test it out and see, based off of your product, what you know is most relevant for you. So here are the most important keywords based off the search volume and how relevant they are for our product. So we know we're going to target these very specifically in our campaigns because we want to rank as high as possible because they have such immense search volume, okay? And if our competitors rank high for it, high chance we can also rank high for it, okay? Next one is secondary keywords. So these ones all have relevancy of 4, 5. They're still relevant for us, but we really want to test it out. There's good search volume to be had here, but this keywords like, for example, office chairs, home office desk chairs, mesh office chair with back support, ergonomic gaming chair. So these are also keywords that we can convert well for, but we should really test it out to a next level, okay? So we don't want to be super aggressive on these keywords just yet. Third one is going to be discovery keywords, okay? Have a look here. So these ones I didn't even color code. So the relevancy is 3, for example. But I went over and I read it out, and with the combination of search volume and how relevant the keyword is, I know we can test it out in broad match campaigns. So for example, office chair. Look at the search volume, look at how relevant it is. If we start running broad match campaigns, it's gonna give us so many variations of this keyword that we might convert well for that we wouldn't have if we don't run these campaigns. They might also give us ASINs we convert well for, so we can do a lot of product targeting, okay? Desk chair, same exact thing. Gamer chair, same exact thing. This is sort of a Spanish keyword. I think it's going to come out to what the chair actually is, but another opportunity. Study chair, another opportunities. So these broad campaigns, we're not going to be aggressive at all. These are all going to be testing campaigns. So for give you context, primary keywords, these are going to be aggressive for the whole purpose of ranking and getting as much sales as possible. Secondary keywords are not going to be as aggressive, but we really want to test it out. And if it converts well, then we're going to be more and more aggressive on it and start ranking. Discovery keywords, this is the entire point is we're trying to do broad match campaigns or auto campaigns on these keywords so we can get a lot of data and figure out what other opportunities we can convert well for, what ASINs we can convert well for. So it's a combination of all three, and simultaneously during your launch phase, you should run all three at the same time. Now I'm gonna show you exactly how we can set up all these campaigns one by one and which structures you should have in place. So here's a good chart of exactly what the core campaign setup should be for that launch week, the week 1, 2, 3, 4, okay? So here are a bunch of campaigns. Let's go over one by one what the purpose is. So single keyword exact match campaigns. The entire purpose is to rank on these keywords, and it's going to be exact match, okay? And hopefully we're boosting top of search. So if we go into back into this list, it's primarily going to be a bunch of these keywords that we know we should start ranking well for based off our competitors, okay? So that's the entire purpose of those campaigns. Now we have product targeting. So I'm going to show you exactly how we can do this, but the point is we're trying to poach traffic from existing listings on Amazon and steal their competitors. So it's competitor ASINs we're targeting and expanded targeting, okay? How do we do this? So if you know your listing is better than a competitor, maybe you have a unique value proposition, you have a better product at all. So what you can do is you can just target these listings, and I'm going to show you how you can do it. But you want to make sure when you're doing this, you only target listings that you have higher rating count than, and your product is actually better, and your pricing is competitive. If your pricing is not competitive, you're going to lose out. You're going to be wasting money. So make sure you have all three things figured out. Next thing is going to be an auto campaign. So the entire point is discovery, and it's low cost per click, and it can convert at a high rate. So there's a bunch of things we can go over. I'm going to show you how you can do it. But the number one thing is we're going to have to add negatives weekly, which I'm going to show you how to do. Next thing is self-targeted expanded campaigns. So this is if you have a lot of search volume coming off of Amazon for your product launch, that people already want to buy your product. So it's your own ASIN, you're just targeting over and over again, and it lets Amazon find placements. Next one is broad match, similar to auto campaign, discovery plus expansion. And we're trying to phrase negatives. So for example, these are discovery keywords. These are going to be broad match campaigns. And then the last one is going to be category targeting. So we're trying to figure out placements in our niche that we convert well for. And Amazon gives us an option to do this. So it's a manual category refined, and you can filter by star and price, which I'm going to show you how to do. So here is my Amazon PPC campaign intentions chart. Before you launch campaigns, you must know what is the purpose of that campaign. So many brands, so many people, you'll be surprised. I go into these campaigns and they have no idea what these campaigns' purpose is for. They're just running at whatever ACoS or whatever goal, and they have no idea in mind. Every campaign should have a specific purpose because there's a lot of components we're trying to maneuver at once on Amazon. So here are a few of them. Ranking and organic boost. We're trying to drive targeted traffic to increase keyword ranking. So this is very important in this beginning stage that I'm going over with you. Scaling sales, same sort of thing. We're trying to expand reach on winning keywords to grow revenue aggressively. So once we identify winners, we're just trying to scale more and more and more. Next thing, defensive brand protection. Protect branded keywords from competitors bidding on your name. So this is very important if you're an established brand on Amazon. We want to protect our brand names and everything. Competitor conquesting, same sort of thing. We're trying to target competitor ASINs or brand terms to steal market share. So that will fall under product targeting right over here. And then new product launch, obviously, you can go down the list. There's a lot of different campaign intentions, but it's very important before you launch campaigns to actually identify what is the end goal for this specific campaign in the long run. So now let's go over exactly how we can set these campaigns up, okay? So the format we're going to follow is one product, okay, one campaign, one ad group, okay, and no more than 3 keywords per campaign. Why no more than 3 keywords per campaign? If you have too many keywords in one campaign, you're going to realize quickly that 1 to 2 keywords are going to get majority of the spend and clicks. Now, why is this? Because Amazon's recognizing that you're going to need the most clicks and impressions for this keyword, so it's naturally going to place some more emphasis on this keyword. Now, you're going to be thinking these other keywords don't perform at all for you, but you don't understand that they don't have any time and awareness to actually get enough data for it, because all the bids, all the budget is going to these 2 to 3 keywords. So you want to get those keywords and put them in their own campaign. That's why no more than 3 keywords per campaign, because that's the most optimal way for you to evenly distribute your budget and actually test out these keywords, okay? Now, the next thing is launch phase is not the time to be stingy with spend. give each campaign enough budget initially to last the day. So how are we gonna do this? Don't overbid on majority of the keywords. We just want enough of a budget to last the day to see what time we perform the best at, okay? If it doesn't perform, then we can lower, obviously. If it performs, then we can increase, right? It's constantly a game of testing it out. But don't shoot yourself in the foot from the start, especially if you're getting a lot of sales and you run out of budget halfway through the day. You're just reducing the entire honeymoon phase for you. And it's the only time Amazon gives you maximum visibility. So the first campaign we're gonna go over how to set up is these exact match campaigns. So if you don't know what keywords we're targeting here, it is these primary keywords right over here. So I'm gonna show you exactly how we're gonna set these up. So the first thing we're gonna start with is exact match campaigns. So we wanna be aggressive with bids on the exact match campaigns because we know based off the relevancy and the master keyword list we made that our competitors rank well for it, because that means we want to go as fast as possible and rank as fast as possible to get our product up to page 1, okay? So let's go over exactly how we can set this up. So once we go here, first thing we have to do is actually name the campaigns, okay? We want to know, if we read all the campaigns, we know the specific purpose for it and like what the campaign is. So for example, for this product, we were doing ergonomic chair. So I'm gonna label it as ergonomic chair. Now this is an exact match campaign, right? So I'm gonna label it as exact. Now, next thing I'm gonna go into is go over here, and this is a single keyword ranking campaign. So I'm only gonna target one keyword in this one specifically. So single keyword ranking, single keyword ranking. Next thing I'm gonna go over exactly what keyword are we targeting. So for this one specifically, I'm targeting ergonomic office chair, okay? So go back here, ergonomic office chair, ergonomic office ergonomic office chair. And then I'm gonna do top of search because we're gonna do top of search. Now I know exactly before I even click in this campaign what this is. The ergonomic chair product, it's exact match campaigns, search report, and then ergonomic office chair. That's the keyword we're targeting, and top of search. Once you're here, hit Amazon and beyond, add your product, and obviously hit manual targeting. We're gonna do keyword targeting, enter a list of keywords, enter your keyword here. So ergonomic office chair, for example, ergonomic office chair, and this is only going to be an exact match because we're literally targeting the exact match. Hit that, boom, and then you're going to add the keyword here. Let's see if it lets me do it. So it's going to give you a bid here right away. So add the keyword. Now it gives you a bid here. Ideally, it'll give you like a suggested bid. Since it's the wrong category for this specific product, it's not giving me anything right now. But once it gives you it, look at the exact campaigns. This is very important, okay? Because we want to rank as fast as possible for these keywords. Now, only do this if you have more than 5 reviews on your listing and your actual listing copy and everything looks good, because we don't want to waste money. This is only for the sole purpose of ranking high for these keywords. So we want to make sure our conversion rate and everything is proper, okay? That's why we're going a little bit aggressive, because we are thinking we're going to convert well for it, okay? Once that's done, go down here. So in terms of bidding strategy, go down only, okay? Because we're already going aggressive to start with. So we don't want Amazon to overspend on a keyword we're already going aggressive for, okay? So if we don't convert well for it, it's naturally going to decrease the bid over time, so we're not overspending. So very, very important. Negative keyword targeting, we don't need anything here really, to be honest. Now, bid adjustment, this is very, very important. Ideally, we want to be top of search a little bit more. I'll give a little bit of a boost to top of search because we want our product as high as possible. And for this campaign specifically, you should not be over fixated on the ACoS. We just want sales. We need sales for this product. If we have a 90% ACoS, but we're getting 500 sales a day for this product, that is doing its job, because if we track our organic ranking, it should naturally be going up, especially for a keyword with such high search volume. Like I said, these keywords have high search volume that we're targeting. We want our product up organically as high as possible. So very, very important. Top search 10%. Go down here. So in terms of that stuff here, we can literally just copy and paste here. This ad group name over here. So I'm gonna go here, copy, go back down here, put the campaign name here. Now portfolio, obviously we want to create a new portfolio for this product, only for this product and all the campaigns for it, okay? Start date today. Daily budget, this is very, very important. Only spend what you're comfortable with. In that first month, I recommend having at least 2,000 to 3,000 for that PPC budget for that month, okay? Because we want to at least get enough data for what we convert well for. Obviously, if you're a bigger brand, you probably have a bigger budget, but we at least want enough data to at least test it out. I would start out comfortably around $35 to $40, okay? For these campaigns, because we want to specifically rank for these campaigns. So I want the budget up, you know, pretty higher compared to the other ones that I'll show you later on in this video. I think 35 is a good daily budget. Now, after the first day, if it running out half through the day and you're converting well, obviously increase your budget. If you're not converting well, decrease it a little bit. It's an entire game of testing it out, and you'll never really know until you start it out. But start out with at least some sort of good enough budget to actually test that out. Once that's done, everything seems good. Launch campaign. So that was a single keyword exact ranking campaign. Now, a few things for these campaigns. Like I said, when I went back here, there's a thing called CPR. So CPR is the number of sales needed within an 8-day period to start ranking on the top half of page 1. So for example, ergonomic office chair, you need about 122 sales on this keyword in an 8-day period to maintain the top half of page 1 ranking. And ideally, if these are our main keywords, we want to aim for this eventually down the road, because that means we're ranked really high for this keyword with tons of search volume. Obviously, the more search volume, it's going to need more sales, right? If you go down here, there's less sales naturally. But you really want to figure out and aim for these keywords. Now, based off of the data and conversion rate, that's what you want to aim for. So if a keyword you convert well for, then ideally your end goal should be a CPR of what it is to get as high as possible for these keywords. Now, next one I'm gonna go over is the secondary keywords. So these are still gonna be exact match campaigns, but we're gonna put more keywords into one campaign. It's not gonna be a single match. It's gonna be 3 keywords per campaign. So same sort of thing. I'll show you this exactly how we're gonna do it. So for this set, I'm naming it the actual product, ergonomic chair, exact match, keyword set 1. So this is the set of 3 keywords, okay? Same thing here, put your product in, manual targeting, keyword targeting, enter list. So we want to enter all 3 of the keywords. So 3 keywords. So ideally these 3 are the ones over here that I'm trying to focus on. I'm gonna copy those. I'm gonna go here. I'm gonna paste those. Now I'm gonna have it here. I'm gonna set these as exact matches for now because these are still somewhat relevant for us. I'm gonna add the keywords. For the bids here, I do not want to go aggressive at all. I want you to go a little bit below the suggested bid. So 10% below the suggested bid, because we don't know if we're going to convert well for these keywords. Compared to the exact match where we have a high relevancy, we have no idea. So for this, I really want to test it out and see what the data is giving to us. Okay, same thing here. Campaign strategy, down only. And then I think that's everything. Top search, no top search over here because we don't know what the conversion rate is. Leave that out. Bid, budget, $35 again, and add it to the portfolio. Next, let's go into how we can set up the broad match campaigns, okay? So go here, discovery keywords. Here are the discovery keywords here. Honestly, I'm gonna use all 4 keywords in one campaign just for this example. So go up here. So it's gonna be broad, obviously, and same thing, keyword set 1. Broad, keyword set 1. Go here, add the product here, and then manual targeting, keyword targeting, enter the keyword. So we're gonna hit broad for all of it. So I'm gonna just delete these old ones here, broad, and then I have all of the keywords here. I'm gonna go back here. We go here, see all the keywords I'm targeting broad. Get them, go back here, enter keyword lists, and these are all our testing campaigns. We just want to test out these keywords. Here, the bid, I suggest 20% below here, okay? 20% below because this is gonna give us so many different keyword and products that we don't know any data, so we really want to test it out. I will go below. If we're not getting enough clicks and impressions, then I would slowly increase it, okay? But we don't want to be aggressive on these at all in the beginning, okay? Down only, no placement at all. Campaign, put it the same name again. And then the budget for this, I would set the budget at $25, okay? We're just trying to test it out. So ideally, for the campaign budget setup, this is all based off of what your actual budget is, but it should be primary keywords should have the most. Secondary keywords should be 20 to 25% less than that. And then discovery keywords should be like 40% below your primary keywords. So next thing we're gonna go over is how to set up the auto campaign. So another form of discovery campaign, which is very, very important. So there's 2 structures we're gonna follow here. On auto campaigns, there's 4 different ways you can run: a close match, a loose match, a substitute, and a complement. Close match, you're gonna find the most keywords relevant for your product, so sort of loosely in the same terms. Loose match is sort of like a broad match campaign, sort of broad in the sense. Substitutes is pretty much a competitor ASIN, so our competitor products that Amazon finds by themselves and starts running our ads on. Complement is going to be products that are very similar to us that can be complemented. So if I have an ergonomic chair, maybe it finds a table for ergonomic chairs specifically, like it's only for ergonomic chairs, somebody that complements it. So quick rules about this campaign: we want to block irrelevant keywords. So I'm going to show you exactly how we do that. Smart competitor blocking. We're going to start with lower bids, and the budget is going to be very similar to the broad match campaigns, around $25, $30 a day. So we're setting up 2 campaigns. So the product name itself, ergonomic chair. So first one is going to be close and loose. Close and loose. And then it's going to be auto campaign. So just a quick way for you to just figure out what the product is, okay? Pretty simple there. Add the product here. go here, we're gonna go automatic targeting, and we're gonna set bids by targeting group. So now we have all these groups here as I went over with you already. So for this campaign, we're only gonna do close and loose match. Suggested bid, we're gonna do 10% below what Amazon is suggesting because we're just trying to discover new keywords, okay? So for every campaign, we want the bid to be low, except the exact match campaigns, which we want to be a little bit aggressive top of search, okay? Set that like this. Now, negative keyword targeting. If we have a lot of keywords that we know out the gate, like brand terms or anything that we do not want to run campaigns for, put it right here. Also, if you have a lot of search volume coming for your brand as a whole, put that as a negative here because we don't want our auto campaigns inflated, okay? For example, if you have a lot of people searching for your brand, set those keywords up in their own exact match campaigns. Because if we have an auto campaign, we might be thinking we convert so high, it's doing so well, but it's just targeting our own brand. So we don't have any new data to build off. We want these campaigns to give us a lot of discovery options, okay? So add any negatives here. Product targeting, we don't need that. Down only, obviously no placements at all. Daily budget, $25. Again, like I said, rename the campaign and good to go. So we're gonna do the same exact thing for substitute and complements. So sub and complements. So they put it like that. Same exact thing, go down here, close these two. Now we're trying to, these are only product targeting. It's only gonna give us products that we converted well for or we did not convert well for. So we know this campaign is specifically for product targeting. So this is our own campaign structure. Now, if we go into the sheet I have here, and I went over the intentions, these are specifically competitor conquesting campaigns, okay? We know exactly what these campaigns purpose is for. So I can literally go back here, and if you follow this methodology, I can put competitor conquesting. Boom. I know exactly what this campaign is set up for, okay? Same thing, set that budget up and launch the campaign. So next one we're gonna do is a product targeting, ASIN targeting campaign. So if you know before you launch that there's specific competitors that you're gonna convert well for, like your product is better than them, they have weak ratings, then we wanna target them out the gate because this really helps increase our ranking and overall bestseller rank on Amazon. So label it something like this, enter your ASIN in here. What we're gonna go here is hit manual targeting and we're gonna hit product targeting. Choose specific products, okay? Now, there's a few things you can go here. If you don't know exactly what you want to do, you can try searching for categories on Amazon and they'll help you do it. But if you already know exactly what the product is, hit here and hit the actual ASIN here, okay, that we want to start running ads for. Enter those ASINs in. Like I said, 3 to 5 ASINs per campaign. Start running these campaigns on it. Now, when you go down here, down only, once again, no bid adjustments, no point here. We just want to test it out. So what you want to do, if you want to go to product pages, since this is where you're going to convert the most for, right? If you have a customer that clicks on a listing of a competitor, we want our ad showing up a little bit below that, especially if it converts well for. So if you know that performs well, we're going to give this a little bit of a boost, like a 10% boost for product pages, okay? Because we convert well for it. Same thing, set up campaign. This campaign, I would give $20. I would give this the least out of the other 3, but still a good enough budget to test it out. Now, the last campaign I'm gonna go over how to set up is category targeting campaign. So we're trying to refine by price and star ratings, okay? So let's go over exactly how we can set this up. So name it something like product category targeting, add the product in, manual targeting, product targeting, and then here, when you go to product targeting, instead of individual products, we're going category, okay? Now, once we're in category, we wanna hit search. Now, it's gonna give you all the categories. Obviously, for your product, it's already gonna show what category we're in. So for example, we were selling office products, right? That's like what our product mostly is, office furniture and lighting, okay? So for example, go here, we can hit add, but what we're gonna do is hit refine, okay? Because this, we're trying to filter out by products that we convert well for, okay? So these are products with a poor star rating and have a higher price point. So for example, if we know specifically it's a brand that we convert well for, you can add the brand in here, but we don't know that at all. But what we can do is, let's say we're priced at $25, okay? So we're trying to find listings that are priced above us. So above $30, okay? Next thing, what we're gonna do is their star rating. We wanna look for poor listings. So ideally, they have like a 3-star, okay? So let's go to, I'm gonna go here, 3-star, okay? We wanna look for poor listings that we convert well for. So people go to the listing, but they have a poor review count and their pricing is a little bit expensive. Now the CR option, typically we should have a 5-star, 4.5 star with 10 plus reviews, right? And our price point is cheaper. So this will automatically improve the chances that they click onto our listing and buy our product, okay? So shipping all and then hit add, okay? Now it's gonna add the bid here, leave the bid as the same here or just reduce it by 10% because we just wanna test it out Now we're going to be targeting everything within this criteria that we actually set. Product targeting, nothing like there. Down only for all these campaigns except the exact match campaigns. Placements, I don't think you need any placements for this, and start running these campaigns. So these are all the campaigns you should ideally set up when you first launch on Amazon to maximize your results. Okay, now we have all the campaigns up and running, and hopefully sales are starting to come in. But now we have to actually optimize all the data we're getting from there, okay? So the first 2 weeks is we're trying to collect data. Don't adjust too much because we need enough data. Ideally, you'll see within the first few days, the campaigns will be slow because Amazon needs time to start getting your campaigns up and running, getting data going. So it's going to be a gradual build up. That's why I say the first 2 weeks, just let it sort of roll out, okay? So what you want to do is pretty much every other day, if you're not generating enough clicks or sales, like a campaign is not getting enough, just increase the bids 10, 15%. If it's underperforming, decrease the bids 10 to 15%, okay? Performing well, make sure the budget lasts throughout the entire day. Do not run out of budget for anything that converts well because we need maximum sales velocity within the first month to 2 months, okay? If a campaign performs well but running out halfway, take some budget from underperforming campaigns and put it into that. You'll be surprised. When you launch campaigns, you might think one will perform really, really well and the other one won't do at all, but it'll be completely reversed, right? That campaign will be performing well. So you really want to A/B test everything, okay? So you most likely won't be getting much organic sales, but still track your TACoS versus your ACoS, okay? Know your ACoS and then see your TACoS, okay? If you don't know how to calculate your TACoS, it's your organic sales divided by your PPC spend, okay? And ideally, it should gradually go down over time because you're getting higher organic ranking for these keywords. Now, after 1 week, what we're gonna do is go into the search term report and analyze everything, okay? I'm gonna show you exactly how we can do that. Okay, so head on over to Campaign Manager. Once we're here, we wanna hit the sponsored ads report, okay? Once we're here, hit click report, query report. Now, report category, obviously we're only doing sponsored product because that's all we're running at this point. Report type, we're looking for all search terms, okay? All search terms. Set the country you're in, times unit, we want to do summary. Report period, it's probably gonna be 2 weeks, but last 30 days doesn't matter because it's gonna give you all that data and do that. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna hit run report and then it's gonna give us an entire search term report. So here is the search term report. Pretty much it's gonna show you all of the keywords, all of the product targeting, all of the ASINs that we were running ads for within that time period. Now we're here to figure out what keywords do we negate, which ones do we stop at all, which ones do we increase bids, which ones do we put in our own campaign, so on and so forth. So just a quick way of how you can sort of figure out what keywords we can put here. So what we're gonna do is add negatives. First thing, if we have a keyword that has at least 10 clicks and above $20 in spend and has 0 sales, we wanna negate that keyword, okay? So go here, you can go to spend all the way over here. You set criteria here. I'll maybe have another video, something here above that, where you set filters here, and pretty much it'll be like above $20 spend and 0 clicks, it'll show you all of the keywords. Then obviously read through the keywords. If it's not applicable to your product, go into the campaign specifically where it's set up, okay? And then you want to add it as, you want to pretty much negate that keyword. So if you don't know how to negate it, I'll show you how you can do it. So you find a keyword that you don't convert well for and we want to negate it, go to the campaign, go to the ad group, hit negative targeting, add negative keyword. It has a negative exact or even a negative phrase. If you want to get the entire phrase out of there, hit a negative phrase. That will get rid of anything similar to that product, but that's what we really want to do. Now, next thing is, what if we have keywords that we convert well for, right? So if we have keywords we convert well for, we want to raise the bids on, or we can take those and put it into exact match campaigns, okay? Now, what I want you to really understand is, if we have a keyword converting well on an audit campaign, do not go and negate it in this campaign itself, okay? You have no idea how it'll perform in an exact match campaign, because in an audit campaign, the cost per click is typically cheaper than an exact or phrase match campaign, and you have no idea if it'll convert at the same rate. So if you have a keyword that converts well in an audit campaign, leave it as it is. Just take that keyword, make a new exact match campaign for it, okay? There's no thing of keyword cannibalization. It'll show you in so many different placements and we're just overall getting more search velocity for it. So get that keyword, now go put it in a single match campaign. Like I showed you in this thing right here, a single match campaign. So I'll go all the way up here, single keyword exact ranking campaign. Get that keyword, put it in a new campaign here, put it top of search, give it enough of a budget and aggressive of a bid. So the same thing can be said for a bunch of stuff. If we see some product ASINs we convert well for, put them in their own product targeting campaign. If we see ones that we don't convert well for, go and put that as a negative in our existing ASIN campaign that we have. You know, there's so many things you can just A/B test, okay? But don't touch anything that's performing well in an audit campaign. Just start and put it in a new campaign and let both run at the same time. Always remember this, always keep auto and broad running. These perform really, really well if you know how to manage it and actually go in every week and clear out and analyze the data. If you leave it as it is, then obviously it's gonna perform pretty bad. You're gonna have a high ACoS because you're not extracting any keywords or just analyzing data and filtering it out, okay? Don't assume the performance will replicate in the new campaigns, okay? If it works, let it run, as I said. Now to finish off, how can we scale after the launch, okay? So if we get a lot of sales, we start ranking for the keywords as you track, we go from ranking to start focusing more so on profit, okay? So the focus should be on TACoS, not ACoS. Like I said, increase your budget as velocity rises, okay? Do not just run out of budget halfway through the day. If you are running out halfway through the day, decrease your bid. Don't just decrease your budget, okay? Because if you decrease your bid, maybe you get 2 to 3 hours more a day for that single keyword, and that's very, very important, okay? Now, month-to-month TACoS roadmap, it should generally look something like this. Month 1 will be like 30, 35%, 40% because we have a lack of organic sales. We're spending a lot on PPC to get our organic ranking up as high as possible, okay? Month 2 should typically see a decrease because our organic ranking should be going up from our campaigns, and we should be getting a lot more organic sales. Month 3, month 4, month 5, typically it should go down over time as our campaigns are building our organic ranking on these keywords. Typically, this is what it looks like. If it's not, that means something is not working in your campaigns. Maybe your listing is wrong, your campaign structure is messed up, and it's not working well. What you also want to do is go into the search query performance report. This is very, very important. I have a video right here. Pretty much it's the ICAP funnel. It shows you exactly what part of the funnel for a single keyword we convert well for and where we can improve upon. So in this video, I'll show exactly, this is the entire report right here. It shows you all the keywords and it shows you our impressions, clicks, added cart, and purchases, okay? So we can identify what part of the funnel we can improve. So for example, if our impressions are quite high, but our clicks are low, we know something's wrong with our product ourselves. Like the main image is not compelling to get clicked on, our reviews aren't good enough, our pricing is not competitive enough, so we know exactly to improve our click-through rate for that keyword. Also for added cart, purchases, improve conversion rate. So it's really important once you start converting well and we have a lot of good keyword ranking, how we can improve our conversion rate on these keywords. Now to finish off on this video, none of this matters if your main image, pricing, or product itself isn't compelling to the market. We can have the best ad strategy in the world. We can set up the best PPC campaigns with the best keywords we're targeting, but if we don't convert well for it, nothing else matters. That's why product research is super important and filling a gap in the market is super, super important on Amazon, or else you're going to be wasting money for the long term. Now, if you want to work with my team, here are some results we have for our clients and their campaigns. One audit campaign, 34,000, 138,000. This sponsored display campaign spent 5,000, got 455,000 with the 81 ROAS, okay? These are some examples. Obviously, some are going to be higher while some are going to be lower. But if you want to work with me and my team, link in bio from my website to see if it's a good fit. We can analyze your entire brand and see exactly how we can add 100K plus to you and grow you to the next level, or even help you with product launches that you need in hand. Okay, so now we have all of our PPC campaigns set up. We know exactly what keywords to target, how much budget we're going to use, and everything. But the next thing is obviously we want our copy on our listing to be fully SEO optimized. So this next part, I'm gonna show you exactly how to make a proper master keyword list and actually make our entire copy fully SEO optimized to make sure Amazon gives us the maximum visibility for our product. So the listing we're gonna be using is this one from a client. It's pretty much a deodorant, drool eraser, stain remover sponge. Okay, so this is gonna be very specific for who we're targeting and a specific niche. So I'm gonna go over exactly how we're gonna revamp the entire copy. And in terms of the copy, there's a bunch of stuff that I've laid out here for you to copy along and how we're going to revamp it. So we're going to go title, bullet points, 5 bullet points, backend terms, description, and alt text copies. So follow along. Hopefully this helps you with your own listings, and let's get into it. Also, if you enjoy videos like this, please subscribe, like, and let me know exactly what problems you're struggling with on Amazon so I can further help you on those topics. Now, first thing I want you to be aware of is for each separate Amazon listing and category, there's going to be specific requirements. For example, this product here has a title limit of only 200 characters, bullet point 600 character limit, and the backend terms 500 characters. But this varies from category to category. So first of all, check on your backend, see exactly what your limit is for your products, set that up, create a sheet just like this. Maybe I'll link it in the description down below, and start working with that. Now let's go over exactly what we need to first optimize on this copy. So if you don't know, it's a combination of SEO, PPC, design, and catalog that will help you scale your brand on Amazon. Now, the first thing is we need to get visibility on our listing. How do we get visibility? That's through proper SEO and PPC for our listing, okay? And what is SEO? It's incorporating all these keywords super relevant for our product into our copy so Amazon knows these keywords are relevant for our product so they can build awareness for it. And how can we do that? By adding these keywords into our title, into our bullet points over here, our backend terms, which you can't see, And then also our A+ content, we can add crawlable text here. So this can actually be indexed. This text here can be indexed and it can help you with your visibility, so on and so forth. And the last thing is alt text. So this can also help us in some capacity by adding image keywords behind each of these, more keywords so we can index further. So that's the process of SEO. So let's get into exactly how we're gonna do this for this listing and how you can copy along for yours. Okay, the first thing what we're gonna do is figure out exactly how many keywords our product is indexing for on Amazon to see where our ranking is and what we need to focus on. So pretty much copy your ASIN and then go to Helium 10 if you don't have it, get Helium 10 and go to Cerebro. When you go to Cerebro, put your ASIN in here, get the keywords, and it's gonna show you a whole thing. So I already ran a search, but let's have a look here. So what we're looking at here is the keyword distribution. So ideally, you want to see that you're indexed for a total keyword of about 800 plus, right? That shows a good example of we are very visible on Amazon's algorithm. We have a lot of keywords relevant for our product, and people can search and find our product by themselves without us having to blast money on PPC. So if you're below 800, the main thing is to focus on increasing our keyword indexing and ranking. So for this listing right here, it's at 273. So we know this is heavily underutilized and the indexing is not up to par. If you have a look at the organic and paid, heavily underutilized, we want to have a 2-to-1 ratio of every two organic keyword, we have one paid keyword. Right now, this is heavily under indexed and under SEO optimized. So I know this right off the bat. So the entire goal is to get this up to like 500 keywords, 800 keywords. And once we're at that level, then we focus on those keywords that are most relevant for our product so we can further boost it through PPC, so on and so forth. So that's the first thing you want to have a look at. Okay, the next thing what we want to do is we want to figure out exactly what is the main keyword for our product. So if you don't know what the main keyword is, we have to figure out what the main keyword is. And there's a few ways we can do that. First off, what you can do is you can set your organic ranking to 1 to 300, sort search volume like 1000. We're trying to figure out the keywords with the highest search volume that are most relevant for us, and then apply the filter. And then it should give you the main keywords that are relevant for your product. Now, this is a very specific product. For example, it's stain remover sponges. Okay, so it's not a spray or anything like that. It's a sponge for a stain remover. So you got to figure out exactly what is the most relevant keyword for our product. And if I have a look here for this product specifically, there is no stain remover sponges keyword that is super relevant for our product. Like I can even set the criteria even up higher. Let's go to 400. And I'm pretty sure there won't be any keyword because this is a very niche product. So we're trying to figure out what's the next keyword that's the most relevant for our product. And I think that will be stain remover wipes. I think that's the most relevant keyword. Everything else here, sure, deodorant, yeah. So because we have an organic rank of 175, so Amazon recognizes this is the proper keyword or category for our product. And there is good search volume. So this is the keyword I'll focus on. Once we identify this keyword, we're going to type this into Amazon and figure out who are our main competitors for this keyword. So I'm going to go here. We're going to go to Amazon. We're going to go here. We're going to just copy and paste. Stain remover wipes. So these are pretty much going to be most of our sort of competitors or people who are in our space. And we're trying to figure out all the keywords they're indexing for and ranking for to see if we can further implement that into our actual copy. So for example, I had to look at this specific product to see if there's any specific competitors. And the closest one I could find is this one, a stain sponge. But this one is for fine wood finishing. So this is not for clothing. So further insight into this product, it's for clothes, cleaning deodorant, stains, any sort of stain. That's what it's for. So this is very niche. So there's not any specific competitors that we have. So I'm trying to figure out what's the main category so that we're trying to have a look at. And it's pretty much stain remover wipes. So now once we're here, the goal is we're trying to figure out 9 of our main competitors. So we're going to copy and paste 9 of our competitors' ASINs that we find are the most relevant for our product. And we're going to copy and paste that into Helium 10. Okay, so I loaded here. What we're going to do is sort by parent level revenue. And just go one by one and handpick the most relevant products compared to yours up to 9. Once we get those 9, you want to go and you want to copy and paste all those ASINs into here. And then we're going to get keywords and we're going to figure out and get our master keyword list. Okay, so I pretty much handpicked up to 9 of my main competitors. This was quite hard because we didn't have any direct competitors. So I picked sort of a lot of products in the same niche that had the same core value. But I got the main competitors. Now put it all in Helium 10 Cerebro, hit get keywords. And then it's going to load. We're going to run a new search because we're including all of these products here. Once the data loads, we're going to filter it out. So I'm going to show you exactly how we're going to do that. Okay, so it finally loaded. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go down and set some criteria. So these are all the keywords it gave us. But it gave us 18,000 keywords. That's way too much. We're not trying to focus on 18,000 keywords. So we're only going to focus on a certain criteria. Let's set a search volume of minimum of 400. Let's just go 400. Let's see how much it shows. We're going to apply filter. And it dropped to 6,623. So we can pretty much, we drop from 80,000 to 6,000. So we know exactly these are the main keywords with actual search volume that are relevant for our actual product. Now let's go hit sort by search volume. Once that's done, we're gonna hit export data, and we're gonna export as a CSV file. Once we have that, we're gonna take it to a Google Sheet, and then we're gonna create a master keyword list and filter out what are the most relevant keywords for our product. Okay, so I just created a new Google Sheet. We're gonna go here, hit file, hit import. We're gonna hit import, upload. You can get the file up here. I have it right here. Drag it, and it's gonna load all the data here. Hit import data, and here we go. We have every keyword here specific to our product and our main competitors. Now we're gonna filter this all out. So first thing what you wanna do is hit this right here, and we're gonna hit view, and we're gonna hit freeze first row, because we want all of these things showcasing while we can scroll in peace, getting rid of all these keywords. Now there's a few stuff we're gonna want to remove out the bat that's irrelevant and just like makes it so messy. So Cerebro ICAP score, we don't need that. For some reason, keyword sales didn't pull up here, but usually you're gonna have keyword sales here. Search volume trend, we don't need all of this stuff. Sponsored ASIN, competitive product, we can delete that. Delete columns. CPR, title density, we can use. Amazon recommended, we don't need this. We don't need this. We don't need this. We're gonna hit that. We're gonna hit delete column. So position rank, we're gonna need. So if you don't know what this is, since we put our product in first, if we have a look here, this first ASIN is our ASIN over here. So it puts it as the first listing here. So we want to change this to actually our product. Okay. Now we have that. Relative rank, competitor rank, we don't need any of this stuff. Delete that. So this is what we have. We have the keyword phrase, keyword sales, search volume, CPR, title density, our product, and then we have all of our competitors' ASINs. Now what we're going to do is we're going to add in a filter. Okay. So right after title density, we're going to hit insert column right, and we're going to sort this, we're going to call this relevancy. So we're trying to figure out the most relevant keywords for our product based off of our competitors and our actual product listing itself. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to set a criteria. Hit equal, count if I can spell, count if. Okay. So this is the criteria we're going to set. Once you're here, pretty much we're going to copy all of these ASINs here, including our product here. We're going to copy all of these up to here. Cool. Now go back here. We're going to hit comma, space, and then we're going to set a criteria. So the criteria, what we're setting is we're trying to find keywords that our product and our competitors are ranked in the top 30 organic spots for. I say top 30 because that is usually the first page on Amazon. If you consider a lot of sponsored product ads and so on and so forth. So the top 30 organic results are usually the first page. And obviously for these keywords, we want our product on the first page because that's where all of the sales are going to happen. So we're trying to filter out, see all of our competitors, what keywords they're all ranked for in the top half page of Amazon. So that's what we're trying to do. So once you're here, we're going to hit the comma. We're going to hit bigger than 30. Okay. And then we're going to hit comma again. We're going to hit close. So it should look something just like that. You can copy and do that yourself and hit enter. Once you hit enter, it's going to say autofill, hit autofill. Now we have all relevancy scores for all of these products here. Okay. Now what we're going to do is we're going to filter this all out. Okay. So we're here. What we're going to do is sort it by relevancy. We're going to sort sheet Z to A. Now, what has it done here? It's sorted it by the most relevant keywords for our product. So pretty much this has a relevancy of 8. What does this mean? Up to 8 of these ASINs here are ranked in the top 30 organic spots for it. Like you can see this guy's ranked number 17, 4, 9, 19, 1, 7, 10. So that's what the whole point of this. So we sorted by the most relevant keywords. Now, once you're here, we want to color code the most important relevant keywords based off our competitors. So we can go up to let's go up to 5. Let's give this its own color. We'll give this a color of light blue. Then we can go down to all the 4s and 3s. So we can give it our own color because we're trying to figure out the most relevant keywords for our product. So we sort that by that. We'll give this its own color because these are the keywords we're going to actually focus on. 2 and below, we don't want to focus on any of these keywords because only 2 of our main competitors are ranked in the top 30 for it. So that means it's not super relevant. So these are our most relevant keywords from our master keyword list. So what we're going to do with this, we're going to start obviously including a bunch of these keywords into our actual copy, which we're going to filter out. And the most relevant ones, we're going to start running more PPC campaigns on. Now, what I want you to do next is we're going to hit plus here, and we're going to create a new sheet here. And we're going to extract pretty much the most relevant keywords. Most relevant keywords. Okay, that's what we're going to do. So we're going to copy and paste the most relevant keywords here onto here, because these are the keywords we're going to focus on into our copy itself, in the title, bullet points, so on and so forth, and maybe even in further PPC campaigns. Next thing, what we're going to do, go to search volume, hit here, short sheet Z to A. Now we're going to figure out the keyword that is most relevant for our product with the highest search volume. So we already color coded it. So these ones here are pretty much irrelevant because we have no relevancy on these keywords, but obviously they have the highest search volume. But we're not focusing on these. We want to focus on the keywords that have some sort of relevancy, but you want to handpick exactly which ones are the most relevant based off your product. This one, for example, had a relevancy of 3, but this is a brand name. We don't want to focus on that. So we're trying to figure out what is the most important keyword. Tide pen. Obviously, that's another brand name. We're not focusing on that. Another one. We're not focusing on that. Shout stain remover. Okay. This has a relevancy of 4. So we want to see if, first of all, if this is a brand name or not. So pretty much we're going to copy this, but we want to extract it here to see and like test it out after to see if this is a keyword that's more like relevant for our actual product. What you also want to do is you want to copy and paste the actual headers. So we can just filter out and do the data here also, like that. And we're going to extract all of these keywords. So I'm going to go down a bit more. Tide to Go Pen. This is another brand name. We don't want to focus on that. But maybe for campaigns, can we start running campaigns on this keyword? You have to test stuff out. Campanelli Stain Remover Spray. So that's another brand name. We're not trying to focus on that. So pretty much go through. I don't want to take too much time. Go through, find the keywords most relevant for your product based off of search volume, and then add it to your most relevant keywords list. Okay, so what have I done here? Pretty much I've gone through all the keywords here and I sorted by relevancy, and I went one by one to handpick exactly which keywords are most relevant for our product. And then I copy and pasted it to this next sheet because these are the keywords we're going to focus on. So for example, this product that I'm doing right now, it's a stain remover for sponges. It's a sponge stain remover. And obviously I'm trying to figure out the keywords that are most relevant for this product that I can include in the copy. Stain treater, spot remover for clothes, stain remover wipes. This is a keyword. Can I really add it? But it's super relevant for our product, so we're going to test it out after. Travel stain remover. All these keywords to identify that we're going to add into our copy. And the ones that are still relevant for our product but don't make sense on the front end, like stain remover pen. Like our product's not a pen, obviously. Bleach pen for clothing, it's not our pen. But these are keywords we can focus on into our backend and also for PPC campaigns. So first of all, figure out all the keywords, add it to your most relevant keyword list, and then what we're going to do next is add it to our copy. So I've handpicked the majority of keywords I want to focus on into our copy so we can increase our ranking and indexing. So what I'm doing next is I'm going to go back to Helium 10 and we're going to use another tool. We're going to go to Helium 10's listing builder. Okay, we're going to hit listing builder. Once we're here, we're going to hit add a listing. We're going to hit create from scratch, enter in your ASIN here. We're going to enter an ASIN. Oh, that was the wrong thing. So let's hit copy and add in our ASIN here. Cool. Start building. So pretty much this is Helium 10's AI creator. We're going to add in all the keywords, and it's going to incorporate all these keywords directly into our current listing copy based off of the description, benefits, so on and so forth, and give us new versions of it fully SEO optimized. Okay, so once you're here, hit manually enter keywords, and we're going to go back to our master keyword list, and we're going to take out all of these keywords that we just identified as the most relevant for our product, and we're going to copy and paste it. So here, hit manually enter and hit add to bank. And then it's going to show all the keywords here with the search volume, so on and so forth. So there's a lot of search volume here. Now we're going to hit, you hit next once you're done here. Now we're going to build the listing with AI. So we're going to give it everything, all the details about our product. It's going to give us a product title, and then it's going to give us 5 bullet points, a description, generic keywords, so on and so forth. So the easiest way I figured out how to do this is, first of all, give it your product characteristics. So it's going to say enter product characteristics, add your keywords, and automatically generate copy. So what I like to do is just go to your existing copy, honestly, and then just copy and paste your about this item here, about your current bullet points and description, so it has a general idea of exactly what your product is. And we're going to just hit enter and then give all that stuff. Brand name, you should really not focus much on that. If you want to add it, you can add it in later, but unless you're an established brand on Amazon, people won't care. People won't care. They just want to know what your product is off the bat, and you want to optimize your listing. Once that's done, we add all the keywords, the description of our product characteristics. Now we're going to hit write for me, and it's going to craft all this stuff for us. So here we go. Pretty much I hit rewrite for me. It gave me a whole new optimized version. Skid out, stain treater. You see the keywords I highlighted that we added from the master keyword list, and spot remover for clothes, erase deodorant, makeup, toothpaste stains, stain remover wipes for clothes, pet hair remover, swab brush for cleaning. So pretty much, obviously, go over it one more time because the AI can mess up, but it's a pretty good starting point. What you can do next is just remove certain stuff that is not super relevant for your product, like maybe pet hair remover. Are you really a pet hair remover? Swab brush for cleaning. You know, go over it. But it's pretty good. These are the most relevant keywords for our product that we want to add now. Same thing for your bullet points. Hit write for me. It's going to give you new bullet points based off of your current ones. So we'll have a look here. Because we already gave it all the data. We gave the keywords, we gave it our product benefits, and it's going to just reincorporate all that into our actual listing copy. So here is the new one it gave us. See the keywords it focused on here. Next one here, the keywords it focused on. and your entire bank is going to be here. So it's pretty much taking all the data from all of these keywords and rewriting all of this. Now we have a fully optimized title and bullet points. And it also can give you a quick description. So if you want, you can literally just copy and paste what we just added from our actual product itself and write that for me. And it should give us a whole new one also. Also, if you're interested in a free audit, link in bio, you can put your ASIN in here, your email, phone number, and my team can create a whole audit for your brand or your listing and analyze exactly what's wrong with your listing copy right now. Either your main image, your PPC, so on and so forth. Exactly what I'm showing you here today. So if you're interested in that, link in bio. But let's get back into this master keyword list. Okay, so once we have our title and bullet points, literally just copy and paste it and add it to the sheet that we just had before. So we're gonna copy that. So we know our limit, character limit here. So make sure that we are within this limit. Just a copy there. And then obviously for the bullet points, same thing, copy and paste the bullet points there. So it also gave us a product description. So it really depends if you have A+ content or you don't. If you don't, then obviously your product description is very important. We want to optimize it fully with everything that's super important for our product, all the keywords you want to focus on. If you have A+ content, this does not matter as much, but you still want to optimize it for visibility. So I have a new description here. I'm going to copy and paste it into my actual copy now. Okay, now for the back end terms, what we're going to do is we're going to go back into our master keyword list and go to all the keywords that I'm showing you here again. So all the keywords on the list. Sort it by relevancy. Make sure you sort it by relevancy. We only want the most relevant keywords, highest to lowest. We're literally just going to copy and paste like the first 100 keywords here, okay? And we're going to test it out. So let's copy and paste all these keywords. Next, we're going to do it. We're going to go back to Helium 10. We're going to use a third tool. We're going to use Frankenstein. So this is the tool we use for backend terms. Go into it, and we're literally just going to spit out all these keywords here. Now, we have all of these keywords here, pretty much 422 words, and we're going to filter out which ones should we add into our actual backend. Now, do not change anything here. We want to remove duplicates. We add only spaces and convert to lower cases. Once that's fine, hit process. Now we have all of these terms here. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go one by one and remove some stuff out of it. So what do we not want here? We don't want any brand terms, okay? That's the biggest thing. No brand terms, no patented terms, okay? So that's the first thing, but we're going to get out right away. Now, we can go through here and actually do it one by one, but this is like a little bit messy. If you really want to be super specific, you can just go here and actually delete the keywords that you know are brand terms. Like, so for example, I know tied to Go Wipes. That is a brand term. So pretty much delete that. Obviously, this is more time consuming, but this is the best bang for your buck. You want to go over exactly all of these keywords and remove any brand terms. So that's what I'm going to do right now. Okay, just to give you some quick insight why I'm removing the keywords one by one here instead of just going here and deleting terms that are like not relevant for our product. The thing is, once we're done here, we're going to use all these terms into our alt text. So I'm going to go over what that is. We're pretty much going to add all these terms behind our A+ content, images, and modules so we can further index. So that's the point of why it's best for you to individually go one by one and remove all the most relevant keywords for your product. Okay, so I pretty much removed all the most irrelevant keywords. So many brand terms I removed. Once that's done, go back here, hit process. Now let's have a look at it again. So pretty much I know these are the most relevant keywords. I removed any brand terms, so on and so forth. You see the character count, 277. So I know for this specific product, we have 500 character limit. So I'm gonna go back into this actual sheet here, and I'm gonna see if I can get even more keywords. I'm gonna copy and paste a bunch of these more, and I'm gonna do the same process. I wanna get as close to 500 as I can. So I'm gonna go back here, literally go back down here. We're gonna go to the last one here, and we're gonna hit again. Now I'm gonna go one by one over all these terms, get rid of the most relevant ones, brand terms, and do it again. See if we get close to the 500 limit. Oh, pretty much done here. I got close to 460. These are the most relevant keywords for our product. Obviously, pick and choose, depends on what your product is. Remove brand terms, so on and so forth. Here are my backend terms. So pretty much the listing is pretty much almost fully optimized. We have the backend terms, the bullets, title, description, so on and so forth. Now the last thing, what I want to do is the alt text. So if you don't know what alt text is, it's pretty much behind your A+ content. There's areas for us to include a lot of keywords relevant for our product. You see there's keywords here. We want to include a lot more keywords so we can further index and increase our visibility on Amazon. So what we're going to do here, but pretty much what I like to do is I like to use a tool called Claude AI, and there's a prompt I give it. So I'm in Claude. Pretty much this is the prompt I'm giving it. Create 20 random sets of 100 character combinations using the below phrases. Keep the phrase for each line intact. Do not add any commas. So I use this specific phrase because I want every keyword that we add into it to stay the exact same. I don't want it to change anything up. And I want to be one by one with no commas, nothing, so we can maximize all the phrases. So pretty much gave it this prompt, and I'm gonna go back here. Now we pretty much already have all the most relevant keywords from a product that we handpicked, that we know are super relevant. I'm gonna copy those and I'm gonna give it all of these keywords. So go here, we have all the keywords here. create 20 sets, hit enter, and it's gonna give us a bunch of sets. Enter, and it's gonna give us 20 separate sets. Now we're gonna add each individual set into separate A+ content modules of our listing. So it gives us all these terms here that we're gonna handpick, copy and paste it into our backend because we wanna maximize our visibility. So we have all these terms, we have all these different copies. Go back here, you should have one here for all text copies, and we're gonna literally just copy and paste it here. And yeah, okay, well, we obviously don't want it to be that big. So go back here. Honestly, let's make this all the same. We're gonna make this all the same. Let's go to 18. There we go. So we have all of these separate terms here. Now the listing is pretty much fully optimized. Last thing I quickly want to go over. If you have text inside your A+ content, this can help you index. This is what we like call crawlable text. This stuff actually indexes. So we want to include as many keywords, especially if you're in this stage. So easiest way, what I'm doing for this product, I'm gonna literally just copy and paste the current one, what we got right now. I'm gonna copy that. So this is our description. I'm gonna go into Claude again, and I'm gonna give it this prompt. Here is the description of my product. I have given you keywords below to naturally incorporate into it. So here is the description, paste that, and here are the keywords. So the keywords, obviously, we're gonna go back into the master keyword list. Let's go back into here. Go to most relevant keywords. Just copy and paste these keywords again, and we're gonna put it back in here. Now it's gonna give us an SEO optimized version of this. So it messed up a little bit there. So you're might have to do it one by one because we don't want it to be like that. So the easiest way, I think you can go back here, go into here, copy it here. So we have all, oh no, see that messed up. So delete all this, do that. Now we have all those keywords again. Now for some reason it works like this. Copy all these keywords. Now we're gonna go back here and we're gonna delete this. I don't want that, and do that. So I think for this, I don't want to include this keyword here. Now it should be good. Hit enter, and then it's gonna give us a whole optimized crawlable text. Now we can incorporate this also into our listing. So go back here. See all this? It gives you a whole new one that you can implement. So this is the new crawlable text. If you have images, put these below images, above an image, incorporate it in various ways. So that's what we want to do here. That is pretty much how you fully revamp and optimize an Amazon listing to increase visibility and sales. I did a lifetime with you. A new title, new bullet points, like this listing here for our client needed a whole revamp, and we did a whole revamp. We pretty much got all the keywords in the master keyword list, got a new title, we got 5 bullet points, new backend terms, a description, all text copies, and then we also gave it crawlable text here, which we can implement. So I'm gonna implement into our actual copy right now. Next thing, what you always want to do is, with all the keywords we got from the master keyword list, you want to make sure you're tracking all the keywords to make sure we're indexing for it. So these are all the keywords, again, we're trying to focus on. You can go to tools here and another Helium 10 list, go to my list of keywords, and you want to add in your product ASIN, obviously, you can create a folder, add your product in. So if you want to go product, you can add your actual product ASIN in right here. And my list training. So I actually have a listing right here, but pretty much you're going to add your listing in here. You're going to add in the keywords, and then it's going to start tracking. And then at the end of every month, you want to see whether you got indexed for these keywords. You're seeing an increase in your ranking. So then you can go back and you want to re-optimize, add in new keywords from the list I'm showing you here. New keywords, maybe you can add in different spots, so on and so forth. But that is pretty much everything I got for you in this video. I know it's long, but this is super in-depth. This is what you need to really revamp your listing and get more visibility on your product so you can get more sales and increase those rankings. So now we know which products to launch. We know how to set up PPC campaigns and which budgets we should have and how to optimize. We've made a fully SEO optimized listing. Now the next thing is something that's heavily underutilized, and that's your click-through rate. If we don't know, your main image is one of the most important things on Amazon because it is your first impression. So in this next part, I'm gonna go over a bunch of categories and show you some good main images so you can apply to your own product and maximize your value proposition to make sure people actually click on your listing. So for this one product, we were able to increase the click-through rate by 21%, and that resulted in an additional $30,000 in monthly revenue. This also resulted in a 20% improvement in their ACoS, and their cost per click went down by 18% just by improving their main image. Now imagine adding an extra $30,000 a month to your Amazon revenue just by improving your click-through rate and not having to spend an extra dime on PPC wasting your margins. So in this video, I'm gonna show you how you can add 20 to 30% more to your Amazon product, all with improving your click-through rate and not relying on PPC. So first of all, let's go over why a higher click-through rate is so important on Amazon. Well, if you don't know, a click-through rate is pretty much the amount of time someone clicks on your listing when they get an impression out of it. So when someone searches for your product or the main keyword, what is the percentage of people that see your product that actually click on it? We want to maximize this always to the next level because this really gets more sales and makes your product stand out from competitors. Now, a higher click-through rate pretty much gives you more clicks, which gives you increased user traffic. And obviously with more clicks, you're probably going to get more conversions. So you're going to have an improved conversion rate. Now, more conversions, what does that result in? More sales velocity. More sales velocity results in a higher organic ranking because now you have better search visibility and Amazon's increasing your organic ranking and your products getting up on higher and higher and higher on page 1 for your main keywords. So a lot more organic sales. And that pretty much inevitably results in a lower cost per click. You can spend lower on PPC and you have cheaper paid clicks because your image is converting at a higher rate. So Amazon bids you at whatever is sustainable because you're already getting clicks at that low level. So having a higher click-through rate is directly correlated with improving your sales on Amazon and something you need to maximize for the long term. So I'm going to show you step by step how to improve your click-through rate to boost sales and give you real-time walkthroughs of products in different categories. And I guarantee you, your product will be applicable in some way or format. So why does CTR matter so much? If people don't click on your listing, nothing else matters. If no one clicks my video, nothing matters. Click-through rate is the driving factor of most businesses, not only on Amazon, but off of Amazon. So it's the number one thing that gets people through the door, first of all. Okay, it is the gateway metric that drives impressions, which results in traffic and results in conversions. Higher click-through rate, lower ad cost. Boosting CTR can drive 30 to 50% sales growth almost instantly. So optimizing your product page or having the best PPC strategies means nothing if customers aren't clicking your listings. If we have the best PPC strategies, we're running so many campaigns, we're spending so much on bids, but our click-through rate is very low, necessarily we're not going to grow to the speed that we are. Now imagine if we double our click-through rate. That's probably double the sales, resulting in more organic sales for you and organic visibility. Now, what is the overall average click-through rate on Amazon ads? So pretty much it varies from category to category, but there's sort of a bench line or something we can use as a metric. So across all ad types, typically a 0.35, 0.45, 0.5 is the average for your main image. Now, sponsored products should have generally higher because we are very specific in what we're targeting. Certain keywords and exact match we know are very specific to our product, what people are searching for. So that would necessarily be higher. Sponsored brands, headline ads will be a little bit lower, and sponsored display will be the lowest because we're showcasing our ad across so many different formats, brand awareness campaigns, retargeting campaigns, and it's just a hard metric to actually measure. So if you're sitting at a 1% plus click-through rate, you're already doing well above the global average. So let's go over exactly how we can improve that click-through rate. So what impacts click-through rate the most on Amazon? Obviously, it's your main image. Now, it's the fastest and quickest way to increase sales. So your pricing and reviews also matter a lot, and your actual title matters a lot, but the main image is the number one thing people see when they search something on Amazon. If I'm searching for a remote, when I click on it, I'm probably looking at the main image first. What type of remote is it? How many batteries does it come with? How many buttons does it have? How big is the remote? This is very important. So it's the fastest and quickest way to increase sales. Your image is literally the billboard of your product. It needs to pop in a crowded search result page. This isn't your own Shopify website or your own e-commerce website where people are already looking at your catalog and you're only competing with yourself. On Amazon, you're competing with everybody. Everybody. If someone's searching for remote, there's going to be 50 different listings on page 1. What makes our listing stand out? That's what's going to result in you getting more and more sales and pretty much growing your organic revenue. If this does not pop up, you're not going to get clicks and you're not going to get sales. So we really want to emphasize this. So let's go over exactly what are some best practices by category for your click-through rate. First example let's go through is a kid's product. If you have a kid's product, show the child actually using the product. Because remember this, it's probably going to be their mom or dad buying the product. And they want to sort of use it as a measurement for the actual child using the product. So you want to add lifestyle context, playrooms, outdoors, smiling faces equal higher clicks. So if I have this whole tool shed showcasing all of these products, obviously I want to show a child or actual baby using the product because it brings similarity and makes the actual buyer related to their own child. This is very important. If you just had the actual set itself, you can't feel that familiarity or that comfortableness with the actual product. Also in this main image, it shows you how many benefits are with this product. Not only is it the tool shed, it shows you the different types of accessories in it, what can be included in the actual tool shed, and pretty much how you can maneuver stuff together. Now, if you look at Huggies, obviously Huggies is a very big brand, but they have mastered their main image. So besides the Huggies, pretty much this is the main keyword here, 100% blowout and leak-proof protection. You see how it's so visible to you? Like I can read it right away. And on mobile, you should be able to read all the text in your main image. This is very important. 44 diapers, I can read that right away. Now the Disney thing is very small, but I don't think that matters as much. Look at this baby smiling and laughing. This is very important because a mom is going to be buying this product and they want their kid to be happy or the diaper to be very comfortable and leak-proof for both them and the actual baby. So this is very important. Add some familiarity. Make sure your actual customers will be familiarized with your product and personalized with it. So if you have a kid, pretty much add an actual baby in it and make sure they're smiling. Now let's go over pet products. It's gonna be a very similar concept. Make sure you include the actual pet in the product because the owner is gonna be buying for the pet and they want to sort of use it as a familiar way to showcase my pet can be using the same way as them. So for example, if you look at this wireless fence thing over here, pretty much it's an action shot with the dog. Let's go over all the good things going on in its main image. So we have the packaging here first of all. Now, packaging is very important if actually it shows a lot of things in it and you can include a lot of keywords. You see here the main keyword here is wireless fence. I know when I'm searching for this, dog wireless fence, pet wireless fence, I can clearly read the wireless fence part, okay? Now, obviously it's a dog. So they have a big dog right in the middle, smiling, happy with the mouth open. Okay, brand names here, recommended by vets and trainers. We can clearly read that. Okay, this is very important. It showcases everything here in this main image. Now, besides the box itself, it shows what's actually included in the item. We have the actual fence here, we have some sort of flags here, and we have some sort of collar that can be used. So you see how you're pretty much exemplifying the actual value proposition of the product. I know how much is included in this. It's not just the fence, it comes with the flags, it comes with this. So I know that for its pricing, it'll probably be justified, okay? Also, you can add size indicators, small versus large pets. If I know like this is like a German Shepherd or can be a Husky, I know this fence is built for these sort of dogs. So I know who my ICP is, who I'm targeting, right? If for smaller dogs, it'll be a smaller fence. They probably have a Chihuahua in it or a pit bull or something like that. But this is what it's for. Now, it's an action shot, dog playing with a toy, a cat eating from a bowl. So if you have a cat bowl, obviously make sure it's a cat eating from the bowl. And then show the actual value in the actual bowl. What's so special about it? Is it stainless? Is it metal? Does it have some sort of light? This is very, very important. Also very important, if you have a pet product, make sure you only choose one pet. So if you have a product that can fit a dog and a cat, don't include the same demographic because a dog buyer is not buying for a cat. Like there's two different things, although they're very similar, okay? So make sure you choose one demographic. Pretty much make two listings. Make a listing for a dog with the actual dog using the product and then a cat version with the cat using the product because we want to create familiarity and we only want to track one ICP. For this, I know who my ICP is. Someone that owns a big dog of some sort, a German Shepherd, Husky, so on and so forth. And they want to have some sort of fence to keep their pet inside so that they can play without pretty much going anywhere else. So I know exactly what this product is from this main image. Now, one category where click-through rate is super important is supplements. Supplements is super competitive on Amazon nowadays, and the actual PPC bids are super expensive. So we want to maximize our click-through rate. When someone sees our listing, we want to make sure they actually click on the listing and buy our product. So what are some things we can do for supplements? Well, there's so many things because the packaging is going to include the actual the bottle, the label, and what's included in it, okay? So what can we do? If we sell like actual supplements, include the pills outside of the bottle plus a bold benefit text, okay? So let's use this example. Even though this is not like a supplement, it's an extract. I know exactly reading it, what is this for? Potassium, magnesium. Someone searching for potassium, magnesium, the main keyword is right here up front and I can read it. This also helps you with your Amazon SEO also if you don't know. So it's very important to have your main keyword here. This one, I know exactly, multi-collagen protein. It's very bold, it's really out there. You have to consider, when someone's searching for something, there's gonna be so many products with so many different labels. We want the main text and the main keyword people are searching for right slap in the center. And it does not matter if your actual packaging is not like this. It does not matter because no one's ever gonna return it. They just want to know exactly what the product is. And chances are when they actually get the product, they're not even gonna recognize that the actual label is a little bit different because no one cares. They just actually care what the actual product is. What's some other things here? If it's made in the USA, include a made in the USA sticker somewhere on your packaging because it creates familiarity. People want to trust products made in the actual US that are homegrown. Okay, if you have some sort of certificate, include that certificate, make it visible. Very, very important. See here how they have a doctor here. It creates a sense of credibility. Well, even though the doctor's name is not here, it creates sensibility. Okay. Next thing is, since it's an extract, we know exactly with this little thing here that is an extract. The pills, the bottle's going down. We have the little droplet here. I know exactly how to use this product. Also, they have a big version. So pretty much the big version's here to showcase the actual writing. Then they have the small version here showing the actual bottle. So it's 2 in 1, okay? So I know exactly what the bottle is, what's the main keyword, what the product is, and I know how the bottle looks. Next thing is blueberries. Blueberries are very important for this product. They include blueberries on the actual packaging, and they have blueberries on the outside. You see how much value is on this actual listing right here? Next thing here, I can keep going. They show you exactly what's included. 2 OZ, 60 milliliters, a dietary supplement. Very easy to read. Non-GMO, gluten, wheat, and dairy-free. This listing does $1 million plus on Amazon. They've mastered the click-through rate. This image here on the right, collagen, protein. So this sticker here is actually completely against Amazon's terms of services, but I'm gonna go over why that doesn't matter in the later on in this video. But same thing here. I can read exactly what the main keyword is. I know what it is, okay? Include some benefits here, but I think they can also build upon this and make it a little bit better. Now, the number one complaint, Amazon will take my listing down if I go against terms of services. Listen, the biggest brands in the world that do close to $3 million a month are doing this same thing here, okay? So do you want to do $3 million a month? Do you want to double your revenue? then you're gonna have to sort of figure out some of these methods. And let's say, for example, Amazon takes your listing down. It takes probably 20 to 30 minutes to get that listing back up just by some quick fixes, okay? It's very, very easy if your listing gets suppressed to get it back up. Now, is that added 20 to 30% improvement in click-through rate worth it? Obviously, it's worth it. Amazon's super competitive. Do you want to spend more money on PPC or improve your main image? So it's definitely worth the risk, and I'm gonna go over exactly how we can further build upon this. Next category, home and storage. So if you have all the storage stuff, overlay measurements directly on your packaging. So look at this main image. We have a 6-pack. I know exactly from the main image, it's a 6-pack. Why? Because they have 6-pack written right at the top there. Now the general person is not gonna count as many, but it just reads 6-pack. If it's a 12-pack, put a 12-pack label. And this sticker here is not on the actual product itself. This is all for your main image to improve your click-through rate. This is very, very important, okay? Now, what else are they doing? So we have all these different ones here. They show the actual towels or clothing in it. See? So it creates familiarity. Like if I buy this, I know I can fit my towels in all of these things here. Okay, this is very, very important. Stack or arrange multiples to show storage capacity. This is showing a lot for me. Like even though I can't like measure the actual width, I know it's 6 here. I can fit like 4 to 5 towels in each separate one, and it's a 6-pack. This is very, very important. Next thing, electronics and accessories. Very important. Showcase the actual value in your product right here, okay? So highlight compatibility. If it fits iPhone 15, make sure you include that it fits iPhone 15. Show the device in actual use, a phone inside a case, a laptop dock plugged in, or add durability cues, drop proof, waterproof icons. So look at these headphones over here. These pretty much like workout headphones over the ear. Look here. So the actual headphones here. Now in the packaging, they have actual writing here that I can read. Noise reduction. I can actually read that right there. That's very important. I know it's noise reduction without even reading the title or anything. I know it's noise reduction, sports, headphones. Okay. Look at this laptop. If this was not included here, the actual display, I would just think it's a normal laptop. Okay. Now, without knowing the title, anything about the product, I know Windows 11 Pro, 16 inches, 1080p Full HD, 256 gigabytes of storage, 8 gigabytes of storage, Intel. So much I know on the actual main image. And this display obviously is not the display of the actual product. It's just showcasing all the benefits for it. It's for a Windows 11 Pro. So you want to make sure you nail all of these components for your main image. Another example here, furniture and decor. Look at this folding step stool. Right away, I know like the value in this. Folding step stool up to 300 pounds. I know just from reading it, it has like 5 words on this actual product main image, but I know it can hold up to 300 pounds. That really showcases the value for me in this product. If this writing was not here, I would just say it's a normal step stool and I would have no idea how much weight it can hold. Or I probably wouldn't even be thinking about how much weight it can hold. Now that it says up to 300 pounds, it really creates a value in this product that it didn't have before. Very important, okay? If it's a lifestyle product, put the product in a room setting, stage, lights, lifestyle images, so on and so forth. Add scale with common items. So a chair next to a desk, lamp by sofa. Show the actual size of the product, especially if it's a big product. Show the actual size next to something much smaller, next to a human, next to a couch, anything. Multiple angles, front, side, close-up, texture. But you really want to nail this writing. This is the most important part. Like I said, this writing is not on the actual main image, the actual product itself. When you order it, it's just going to be a black stool. But nobody cares because we just want to get the clicks to the door. Next thing, we can go into fashion and apparel. So Dr. Scholl's, a very big brand, $1 million plus on Amazon. I know right away, your heels and wedges. It's literally for your heels and wedges product, okay? New look, women's. I can read this for women's very easily. Relieves and helps prevents ball of foot pain. And that's kind of small to read, but someone who's going to be searching for this product already knows that they want to, relieve that. But they have the actual product there. They have a foot here in the actual heel, and then it's sort of healing that. Now they have the actual 2 cushions on the outside, so I know it comes in 2, so it's 1 pair, and all day cushioning and protection. Very important. Look at how much they've included in this actual main image here. So display multiple color swatches, highlight material close up. Next one, kitchenware and cookware. Look at this, okay? Show in use with food, knife cutting, pan with dish. So these are bento box for kids. Now look at how much is actually included in this. So this listing here does 10,000 right here. Now look at it. So we have the box. It showcases actual food in the actual box. Now obviously this food is not coming with the product. But you can see how they have this food here with smiley eyes to create familiarity. They have some sort of dessert. They have some sort of M&Ms or something. But it creates familiarity, like how much I can actually put into it. And we have different slots here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now it shows the actual utensils. We have a spoon and a fork. Now it shows all the other components here for a bento box. It's creating value out the door. If it was just a box and we didn't know anything else, it would not sell the same sort of emotion. Okay, that's why it does 10,000 a month. Same examples here. Bento box shows the packaging, shows the food that's included in here. Bento box shows the different angles, shows the different components that come with it, spoon, everything, and the actual food that's in it. So if you have a kitchenware and cookware product, include all the utensils in it and try to include actual food in the main image being used. Travel and outdoor gear. So look at this actual backpack. So it's like at first glance, you would have no idea what this is. But this is pretty much a travel backpack that you can carry, that you have water in the background. And I know it's waterproof here. It's waterproof. It's showing the actual big way to hold it, how it looks on the back, and the actual waterproof. So lifestyle shot outdoors, tent pitched, a bag worn. Show portability. If you have a portability product, show it folded, show it packed down, show someone actually wearing it so then they can sort of relate to it. Add size and scale. Backpack on a model, a tent with a group inside, so on and so forth. So the same sort of concept for supplements can be applied to beauty and personal care for the most part. Like this Ultra Facial Cream. I know, like right away, I don't have to read anything else here. I just know Ultra Facial Cream is the main keyword here. I know right away. They showcase 4.2. This can be a little bit more upfront and center because it's hard to read here, so they can improve that. But they have the actual cream ointment here. So I know exactly, even if I didn't know this writing Ultra Facial Cream, they have the actual cream up top to know exactly what the product is. What are some extra image tweaks that works? Labels and packaging. Clear value proposition. If it's an organic product, make sure to include that on the actual label and make sure it's big. If it's BPA free, include that somewhere on the label so it's actually big and someone who's searching for it knows right away. Okay? What's included in the product? Show bundle items in one frame. Everything should be included in the main image. Really jam pack it to show the value in your product. Color variation. If you have a lot of different color variations, like you sell some sort of bedding products and different colors that come together, showcase the actual product and then showcase the different color slots on the bottom for it. This is very, very important. Text callouts. Add subtle overlays for features. Like sometimes it gets flagged, but on your main image, try to include writing in your actual product packaging or your main product itself and add some value to it. This is very, very important. Now, let's say we are trying to improve our main image and we go through this entire process and we have a bunch of new main images that we want to test out. How do we do it? Well, this is the 3-step process you should follow if you want to test your main image to see if it actually makes improvements. So step 1 is we're going to do a pre-testing polling. So we don't want to put our main image up right away without any actual data. We can think it's going to perform better, but until we have actual data around it, we have no idea. And we want to minimize risk right out the door. That's why we use a tool like PickFu or Product Opinion to get actual demographics. So what you want to do first is design multiple main image variations. Get a bunch of main image variations for your product, like 3 to 5, okay? Different types and different angles, okay? Now, what we're going to do is run real-time polls with actual target demographics. And we're going to use either PickFu or Product Opinion. Aim for about 50 plus responses because we want to have a good set and make sure that we are choosing actual demographics that meet our actual buyers on Amazon. So how PickFu works is it's real-time polls using your actual demographics that you set. So for example, if we're targeting dog owners, we're only going to set it for dog owners. And ideally, we run polls for up to 3 to 5 of your main images. Now, after the poll's done, we'll have actual people data of maybe our ICP who we want to target. And we'll know exactly what images perform the best. We'll have like 1 to 2 winners. And we have a general idea of which ones to choose on the next Amazon. So once we identify like 2 to 3 main images that perform well, that were better than the rest, now we want to take it to actual Amazon itself and start running some actual data sets. Now, Amazon has a thing called Amazon Manage Your Experiments. Now, you need to be brand registered to have access to this, but pretty much within a month, I think or so, every 2 weeks, it tests out batches of these main images. So 2 weeks, you're going to have 2 main images go against each other, and they're simultaneously going to be running at the same time. And after those 2 weeks, you'll know exactly which ones perform better than the other. So take the 2 best images from test, upload them to Manage Your Experiment for A/B testing, and Amazon will split the traffic. 50% sees images A, 50% sees image B. Okay, run the test for I'd say maybe a month. Okay, typically a month, especially if you're running a good amount of money on PPC. Now, after that month, Amazon reports which version delivers the highest click-through rate and conversions. So now we did 2 tests. We did a test using PickFu or Product Opinion, using actual people, and they identify 3 to 5, like 3 main images that perform well. Now we take it to actual Amazon, start running these main images on our listing, and within a month, we should have an idea which one performs the best, and then we can start running from there on with that one. So here is Amazon Manage Your Experiments in Seller Central. Go here, you can create a new experiment for A+ content, bullet points, product images, product titles. So obviously we're gonna do product images. Now we're gonna choose 2 main images and we're gonna run that simultaneously. And after those 2 weeks or a month, it'll give us exactly data about which one performed the best. And let's start running with that one. Now, the third thing, and what is really important and people do not maximize, is after we start running the main images for a few months, weeks, and we have a lot of data and we've seen improvements in our actual click-through rate and our actual sales, we want to do another deep dive and see a deep analysis of how we can further improve this. Now, we're going to use Amazon's Search Query Performance Report. So I have a video here going about, if you don't know how to use it, I'll probably attach it somewhere here. But this is very important because we want to compare the click-through rate before versus during the test period. Now, how the Amazon report works is it identifies at what level we can improve upon. So whether it's our impressions, our clicks, our add to carts, and purchases. Now, for your actual click-through rate, we're going to be looking specifically at the impressions to clicks because that's your click-through rate, the time someone sees your listing and how much of them actually click on your listing. So what we can do is we can identify gaps. So what we're going to do is we'll look at high volume keywords with low click-through rate. So keywords where we have high impressions, but the click-through rate sees a drop off. Now, what we can do is if that keyword, for example, if we sell a supplement, and that keyword, we're getting high impressions but a low click-through rate, we know maybe we can add this into our packaging somewhere on our main image so that people know exactly when they're searching for that keyword that our product is what that is. That is very, very important. We want to add visual cues like a certification badge or a keyword highlight. But pretty much what this tool does is it lets us analyze what can we improve upon, what is maximizing the best, so what we can further improve upon. Because click-through rate is something that is ongoing optimization. Always. It's not something like we identify a winner and we just leave it forever. Because every month, every year, you're going to have new competitors showing new things in the main image. There's going to be new search volume in the market for new keywords that we really want to take advantage of before our competitors do. Said, even a winning main image can lose effectiveness over time as the market is constantly evolving. New keywords with high search volume appear, your image may not reflect them. This is very important. This is why you always want to track new keywords in the market and see their search volume. New competitors enter the market, showcasing benefits you don't highlight yet. Best practices: regularly audit your click-through rate performance. Go into brand analytics, the search query performance report, and see what are the improvements every week, every 2 weeks, every month, and what we can improve upon, okay? Watch your competitors' main images for new angles or benefits. So if you have new competitors in the market that are starting to do really, really well, they take a bigger market share, see what we can improve upon, because if they're getting more sales, then obviously customers are liking something about their main image that they don't like about yours. Run new A/B tests whenever you spot market shifts. Obviously test everything, like with PickFu, manage your experiments, and the search query performance report. The key mindset: click-through rate isn't a one-time fix. It's a constant cycle of testing, learning, and adapting. Stay ahead of your competitors by making click-through rate testing part of your ongoing growth strategy. Also, make sure click-through rate is just the gateway, it's not the destination. We can have the best click-through rate, but if we're not converting, nothing matters, okay? A high click-through rate gets shoppers onto your listing, but if the listing doesn't convert, all that traffic is wasted. So how do we ensure your listing converts? Obviously, have really good infographics and lifestyle images showcasing the benefits of your product, have competitive pricing, very important. This directly correlated with actually your click-through rate as a whole. We can have the best main image, but if our pricing is double than everyone else selling, naturally our click-through rate is not going to be as high. Now, that's not due to the main image, that's due to our pricing or our reviews are holding us back, okay? Clear value proposition. Why should shoppers choose your product over competitors? Make sure this is fully highlighted in your listing copy, your writing, your A+ content, and your videos. Reviews and social proofs, obviously the more reviews have, the better it's going to be, and they have compelling copy. So if you want to see another video where I go over Amazon main images, I literally go step by step and search keywords and see which main images can be improved upon and what are actually really good. I'll link that somewhere here again. So Amazon click-through rate is the fastest way to get more sales on the platform because your main image needs to stand out from competitors and overall drive them to your actual listing. Similarly, what you did with this video, because of my thumbnail, you click on this the title and everything, and you click this video and you watched it. Okay, so now your product is live for maybe a week and 2 weeks, and for some reason you feel like sales are stagnant and you're not growing at all. So the next part, I actually diagnose a bunch of things that may be holding your sales back so you can reverse engineer and try to flip it and see if it helps fix those sales. So in this video, we're going to go over how to fix a dead or declining Amazon listing, a step-by-step recovery plan. This penguin throwing money here is literally like what it looks like when you just throw money at PPC because you're losing sales. And you're like, oh my God, how do I fix my sales? How do I fix my sales? But we have to address the root causes, and there's always a root cause as to why our sales are dropping. So the first thing is diagnosing the problem. Every single issue regarding your listing can be reverse engineered to find exactly where in your funnel you're trapped. And here are multiple reasons why a listing might be declining. First thing is obviously new competition. If you experience a sudden or gradual drop in sales, this is also due to a lot of aggressive new competitors entering the market. And you can tell this by a few ways. The same PPC bids you were spending for years and months has suddenly skyrocketed, and your bids are just not showing any visibility for your products anymore. Second thing is drastic sales drop out of the blue. So you have new competitors with cheaper prices entering the market. Third thing is you're losing organic rank for these keywords. So these are the telltale signs. Now, in terms of your new entrants and why they might be doing better than you, there's a few reasons as to why that might be it. First thing, better main image and overall photos. If you have a look at these two listings right here, let's see if I can click it. So pretty much this item is priced at $180 and this is at $60, but this one's doing way more sales. Okay, and there's a reason for that. The main image is simply better. It's the stand, but you can see all the color in it, and it's actually so many items more in it. So it's showcased. It's a much bigger stand. It's light. You can light it up, and you can put a lot more items into it. So obviously, people who want to buy the product will look at this rather than your main image. So number one thing is you have to check if your main image is proper. And there's a bunch of ways to do that. You can go through PickFu or any product opinion and just test out new variations of your main image right now to see whether there's new things you can add into it or not. The next thing is cheaper pricing. Obviously, we do not want to compete based off cheaper pricing. We're trying to build a brand here. But if you see a big drop in sales, it might be due to competitors entering the market and they're priced at like half your price and their product is very similar. So that's also another thing. Another thing is higher rating. Even if you have more reviews, a higher rating looks better on Amazon's algorithm. Like if you have a 4.3 star, it shows you have a 4.5 star. Something that you want to look into always, at all times pretty much. Next thing is running really aggressive PPC campaigns, especially common for big companies. So if you have big competitors that enter the space, they have a really big budget and they can spend lots and lots of money just to get visibility. And they might not be super profitable, but they need all these spots because they just want to get more sales for the product. So this might be another issue as to why you're losing sales. And lastly, the worst outcome that you possibly have is your competitor having a better product or value proposition than yours. If you have a look at these two listings, it's a bunch of baby spoons. The one on the left is selling 3 baby spoons, while the other one on the right is selling 4 for the same price, and it showcases more value. And the one on the left only has 400 reviews compared to 7,000, but they're still doing the same amount of sales. So if your competitor has a better product or giving more in a bundle at once, that's a problem we have to address directly. Now, if you have a click-through rate issue, this is what it typically means. Typically means you have weak main images that aren't updated, you have either poor pricing, bad ratings, or ineffective titles showcasing what your product actually is. Just because your main image has performed well in the past doesn't mean you stop testing it. This is a mistake I always say with Amazon sellers. You always want to test out what's new in the market with new A/B tests, new variations, because it might be a new value proposition that customers like instead now that you're not highlighting enough in your main image. So you always want to test this because it's a really important component for you to sell on Amazon and grow your sales. So you always constantly want to test this out through Amazon Manager Experiments, Product Opinion, and PickFu. So quick example here. You sell a cat water fountain that you can control through a phone app. So the image on the left shows the phone at a much bigger amount compared to the one on the right. But the one on the right shows a cat in the main image. So now you can see the one on the right does much better than the one on the left. Same price, same everything. So now we realize that a cat can move the needle much more in terms of the main image. They want to see that's actually for a cat. Maybe they think it's for a dog or whatever. So that's something in terms of a main image you always want to test out, see what your competitors are doing, and see if you can integrate that through your actual main image now. Next issue we have to go over is your conversion rate. Now, if you have a low conversion rate, this often signals there's issues once visitors land on your product page. Something is not converting them into buyers. Now, if you don't know how to track your conversion rate or whether you have a low conversion rate, pretty much it's anything below your market average. And you can use tools like Amazon's Brand Analytics if you're brand registered, and it can show you all this stuff. So go to your brand analytics, go to your main keyword. So you might have a main keyword and analyze how your products click share and conversion share stack up compared to your competitors. For example, if you have a 5% click share rate, but only 1% conversion share, you know your conversion rate is much weaker than the average because you're getting a good amount of clicks, but when people go to your listing, the conversion rate drops by like 4x. So that means your pricing is wrong, you have poor reviews and ratings, or your images are not showcasing your product properly. Another major issue recently is Amazon frequently returned badge. So Amazon has made this badge much bigger now and prominent on the actual listing, and you don't want this. So if you have a big conversion rate issue, if you have this badge, make sure as soon as possible you try to get rid of it. Now, next thing is poor listing images and titles. So your main image matters a lot, but your infographics, A+ content, and titles actually have to do a lot too in terms of showcasing your product's benefits, lifestyle images, and having a good video. So you always want to double check that you have all the stuff set up and you have all the Amazon's images. You have like 6 images and a video set up properly on your listing. Another thing, negative reviews. Even a few negative reviews can drastically reduce customer confidence and conversions. So you want to analyze exactly why you're getting negative reviews and go back. Maybe it's your main image not showcasing the product. Maybe your detail page is not showing the requirements for the product. Maybe there actually is poor quality issue. This is something that you always want to address up front because you can always mask this, but you're always going to build up negative reviews until you fix this issue. So this is something you have to address right away. Now, another important thing is keyword ranking and impressions decline. So declining sessions indicate a drop in the number of visitors viewing your listing. And this could be due to a bunch of reasons. Lower keyword rankings, new competitors enter the market, or decreased relevancy of your listing to targeted searches, right? So a loss of keyword rank means your product is no longer prominently displayed in Amazon search results and it has fallen off the map. You're not on the first page for these keywords. Now, this is due to a bunch of reasons. Number one is poor PPC campaign structure. There's a lack of consistent keyword targeting campaign and sales velocity per keyword. Like you're not tracking any keyword ranking, how many sales you need a week for each keyword, whether you're going up, you're down, whether this is in your title. This is stuff you always want to incorporate into your PPC and SEO. Now, next thing is increased bids on these keywords due to competition. We simply aren't showing enough in the sponsored ranks because we are not bidding high enough. And obviously, no one wants to bid higher, but Amazon keeps getting more expensive year over year over year. And we have to do this properly, maybe target lower hanging fruit that's not as expensive instead of your main keyword, but you have to figure out because we need our more visibility, and the way to do that is through PPC. Last thing is poor listing copy, which doesn't maximize on your most important keywords. Now, another issue that most people don't realize is inventory and availability issues. Amazon heavily relies on you being Prime eligible and having that badge. So if you are not Prime, if you're doing FBM, they're not going to give you more visibility than people that they can actually sell to FBA and get their delivery within 2 to 3 days. So you always want to be Prime eligible. If you don't have Amazon Prime on your products, you're missing out tons because this is the biggest value proposition. So make sure this is updated always for you guys. Next thing is the suppressed listing. So this is not always as big of an issue, but your listings get suppressed sometimes without you even realizing it due to guideline violations, main image violations, or not updating copy. So you always want to go in and check your account health and analyze whether it's suppressed or not and address that right away because you never want to suppress listing. Okay, now how do we bring our listing back from the dead like we're Undertaker? Okay, so this is the first thing. First thing, you have to diagnose what is the main thing holding back growth. There's always one thing that is killing your growth. And there's a bunch of reasons. Weaker value proposition. Is your product not as good compared to the competitors? Click-through rate issue. Is your main image not updated or your pricing is bad? Conversion rate issue. Is our infographics bad or our rate reviews and ratings? Indexing and keyword ranking jobs. Are we not showing up for these keywords properly through our PPC? Is our strategy not optimized? And then obviously, like I said, reviews and pricing. Once we identify the main issue, we attack that head on first because that will move the needle in the shortest amount of time. Now, if your issue is value proposition, first thing is identify, do we have a bundled or functional differentiation? Ask, do you offer more value or are you just another option on the shelf? When customers scroll Amazon, they're looking for the most value per dollar, not just another version of the same thing. So there's a bunch of areas you can analyze. Bundling value ask, do your competitors include something extra that increases perceived value or usability? Some common examples. Accessories. You have a scoop, a case, a brush, a bag, dropper, organizer, refill pouch, anything that adds more value. If you have a digital bonus, an ebook, a workout guide, meal prep, setup video, anything like that. Or it can be a quantity or volume advantage, which is a very common issue with dealing with Chinese sellers, right? They have a 2-pack or 33% more than standard size, or they're just giving more value upfront. So you always want to check, are your competitors bundling smaller items that cost little but feel like a lot to the customer? So if there's an item you can add to your product without drastically changing your MOQ and your profit margins, can we add that and can it move it to the next needle? So you want to fix this if you're selling the base product alone while your others are offering a complete set. Next thing you want to ask is, do they offer a functional add-on? Like, is the product more useful in real life compared to yours? Some examples, your competitors' water bottles come with time markers, filters, or infusers. The yoga mat has positioning lines or non-slip grip. The face serum has a dropper for dosage. Yours doesn't. So fix this if they've added these features that solve secondary pain points while you're still solving just the core one. So just add onto your existing product, go back to your manufacturer and see if they can do this. Next thing, more use cases. Can the product be used in more situations or by more people? Examples, a phone mount that works in cars and on a desk. Can we sort of do that same thing too? A kitchen tool that works for left-handed and right-handed users. So any value proposition meant for that mechanism. A toy that converts between 2 modes, a puzzle plus a stacking toy. So fix it if your product is limited in function or scope compared to theirs. And the last thing is, do they offer more options for different buyer preferences? So some examples, multiple sizes, a travel pack, a family pack, an XL pack, color variations. Are they selling a lot of different colors so they can get a lot more out of a customer? Skin, hair, body type fragrance for oily, for dry skin, men versus women. So fix it if you offer a single scoop while your competitors offer flexibility and customizations. So there's a bunch of stuff you can do to figure out what this is. Like, use customer review clues like Helium 10, see what your competitors are doing, see what the market wants, and see if I can add that onto your listing. Like, if you look at reviews, that I love that it came with the travel bag was a nice bonus, much better than others because it includes. There's a lot of things you can figure out through customer reviews and see if you can add that onto your existing listing. Also, another quick way to figure this out is if your reviews have complaints about missing add-ons in your listing. Like if buyers are constantly highlighting something competitors are giving that you aren't. Like a red flag is like a Me Too product is, you never want a Me Too product. You want to have something unique about your listing. Like high quality, durable, great value. That's something you can say, but you're not differentiated. You're just one of one on Amazon and you're just copying all sorts of sellers. So you have to really think and deep dive into your existing customer base and see what they would like added onto your existing product. Second thing we can do to increase our sales and fix our dead listing is improve your main image and listing creative. Testing images using platforms like PickFu to validate effectiveness before going live. See what is working for your top competitors. Try implementing them into your own listing, like the ACAP water fountain example that I showed you. You can use AI. So AI can analyze competitors' listing images and provide insight into what is best suited for you. Like you can use this AI prompt from Cloud AI. Attached is my listing copy, one of my main competitors who's dominating the market. Can you analyze both listing images and see what I can improve upon mine based on what is working for him? And then once you get those improvements, send it over to your designer or whoever you work with, and they can try implementing this into your actual listing. Now, once you get those images, don't set it up right away. Go to like a PickFu, go to Product Opinion, go to Amazon's Manager Experiments, and start running these tests through your actual demographic and see whether it has a higher conversion rate compared to your previous image. Okay, third most important thing is a keyword optimization refresh. So this is something I see so many people mess up is they don't update their SEO properly. So you always want to create a new master keyword list like every month, conducting detailed keyword research using Helium 10, Cerebro, and everything. So if you don't know what a master keyword list is, it's pretty much a deep dive into our keyword ranking for our product compared to our top competitors to see and identify what keywords they're stealing sales from us on. So this is something that what it looks like. And you always want to check keyword rankings that you are ranked up for right now, but whether we can get it up even higher on Amazon's algorithm. So you constantly want to do this. Once you get those keywords, you incorporate fresh high traffic keywords into your title, bullet points, backend terms, and product description. Then you also eliminate keyword cannibalization and relevant traffic to improve keyword efficiency and organic ranking. So like I said, once you have that set up, you can use tools like Helium 10's listing builder, which is the AI tool, and you can put these keywords in and it'll automatically incorporate that into your existing listing copy. So that's really good. Okay, next thing you want to do is make sure you have crawlable text and keywords in your actual A+ content and copy. On the back of your A+ content, if you have a look here, I'm using the alt text Chrome extension. There's a lot of keywords we want to include on our listing so we start indexing and ranking more. Because we want to, most people have a traffic issue. Like there's a conversion issue, but there's also a traffic issue. We're not getting enough traffic. So how do we get more traffic? Run proper PPC and proper SEO on your listing. Include a lot of crawlable text here so we can start indexing for a lot of these keywords. And to get these keywords, that's how you create a master keyword list. And it'll showcase all the keywords we want to add into our existing listing copy. Now, the fourth thing, and obviously one of the most important things, is a strategic PPC campaign relaunch, because we need sales velocity for these keywords in order to get those rankings back up and our sales. So this includes a bunch of other stuff like setting up aggressive exact match PPC campaigns, targeting your top performing keywords and your strike zone keywords from your master keyword list. So once you create that master keyword list, you'll find keywords where you're ranked between like 20 to 100, right? 20 to 100, 20 to 150. And those are our strike zone keywords because we want to push that up even higher on the first page of Amazon, because like 80% of sales happen on the first page of Amazon, obviously. So here's a breakdown of campaigns from exact match type, phrase and ASIN targeting, and broad match campaign. I'm gonna break down every single one by one. Now, what we're trying to do is relaunch with a controlled momentum. We don't want to go too aggressive, and there's a lot of brands making issue where they just stole so much money at PPC trying to fix it. That's not how you're gonna fix it. You have to diagnose the issue first and then make a strategic plan for that. So what we like to do is do a mini launch first. Pick 3 to 5 strike zone keywords, not too competitive, good volume, not super high bid, anything like that. And we want to use exact match campaigns to start getting traffic for these keywords because we know we're already ranked well for these keywords. We're just trying to go up even higher on Amazon's algorithm. Okay. Now, in terms of driving keyword ranking, we want to focus on 1 to 2 keywords at one time because we want to maximize this, especially if they have high search volume. So use search, find, buy if you're comfortable, or external push to Amazon via attribution. These are a bunch of stuff you can apply right away. And obviously monitor closely daily keyword movement, click-through rate, conversion rate, organic plus PPC orders plus split, track everything that you're doing. Now, in terms of exact match campaigns, we want to target 3 to 5 strike zone keywords per campaign because we know these are tailored, targeted, what we're exactly looking for. So we want to do exact top of search because we want a product and shown at the top of search, even if it's a little more expensive, but that's where most sales are going to get. And we're going to get more sales velocity and hopefully get our organic ranking up higher and higher and higher. Now, the purpose of exact match campaigns is to hone in on these strike zone keywords. We know we already have good organic ranking for these and our competitors are ranked well for these. So we want enough sales velocity for these keywords to crank into the top 10 organic ranking spots. Now, broad match campaigns, this is for discovery and coverage. Same sort of formula, strike zone keywords, only 3 to 5 strike zone keywords per campaign. But the thing is, we have to constantly negate and add irrelevant terms that bleed spend. So the goal of this is to capture long tail and variations you might not have targeted manually. So through our master keyword list, we know the main core keyword, but there might be variations built off that, like long tail ones, which have lower competition, but have good search volume. So we can increase our ranking, but we need, first of all, broad match data to analyze whether these campaigns convert well for this. The third thing is product targeting campaigns or competitor hijacking campaigns. So we want to target our competitors who have weaker listings than us. And what I mean by weaker listings is they have higher price points and usually lower ratings. So they have a poor listing copy. So we target these ASINs because if someone goes on their listing and clicks our ad and buys our product, that really helps us improve our bestseller rank and overall get more organic sales on our listing. So that's something you always want to do, especially if you know you have a good product that is just falling off for whatever reason. So the purpose of product targeting campaign is to hijack sales from competitors while simultaneously boosting our organic rank on keywords. Amazon's A9 algorithm heavily emphasizes listings that do better than the search, and one way to showcase that is by stealing customers from your competitors' listings. And the last one is auto campaigns. This is for discovery and algorithm signals. Let Amazon auto-manage your product with relevant keywords and ASINs. Now the goal is to discover converting terms, find hidden long tails, and feed Amazon more data. So below is a breakdown of exactly what are the different match types, what are the purpose of each close match, loose match, substitute, and complements, and what is your target. Now in terms of setting that up, I have a whole video of it. I might attach it here below. But this is something you constantly want to optimize, but you want to start low, not high in terms of bid, because Amazon will always want to make you spend more money. And we don't want to do that. Start low, see if it converts or does not convert. If it doesn't convert, put the bid up like 10 cents, 20 cents. Gradually increase it. But this is something you always want to run also. Okay, now another important thing is having competitive pricing. I'm not saying you have to lower your price to competitors, especially Chinese brands who get the cheapest pricing, right? We can't match that, but we need to be at least somewhat competitive. So we can have coupons. So if you don't know, you can put a coupon on your listing, and half the time, people won't even add the coupon. They'll just forget. But it showcases on your main image when people go through search that you have a coupon in your listing. So this is just a good benefit. And some people use it, some people don't, but they'll still convert. Price cutoff, that's also something you want to look into. You can put a price cutoff within a time period to do that. Bundle packs to increase perceived value. So you can add like one simple thing and keep your current price, and that might not tank your margin. It can be like $1 more to your minimum order quantity whenever you order a unit, right? Also another thing, while matching prices with lower cost competitors, particularly those with extremely low production costs like many Chinese brands, may not always be feasible or profitable. It's crucial to remain competitively priced within your niche, because the goal is we want enough PPC sales to get our organic ranking up. And then the organic ranking will help bring in organic sales, which we do not have to pay money for, okay? But if your pricing is considerably higher without clear justification in product quality, main image, unique features, customers may opt in for a more affordable alternatives. So a quick example, if most competitors sell yoga mats at around $20, but yours is priced at $30, but you know your product is better, you have to clearly communicate that. Like into your main image and infographics, such as a padded in no-slip surface, environmentally friendly material, or lifetime durability guarantees. This can justify the higher price and encourage customers to choose your product. But if you don't showcase this properly, they'll never know, and you will just lose sales and you'll lose your organic rankings. Last thing, very simple thing, just be Prime eligible, do FBA, Amazon rewards you, and customers have a higher conversion rate compared to FBM. So make sure you have Prime eligibility. Now the hardest fix, but the easiest one that will improve your sales is improve your product. The biggest reason you may be losing sales is because your competitors just have simply a better product than you. So analyze what that is, what product they have. Use AI. Analyze negative reviews on your listing. Analyze how to make your product better. Use AI. You can use AI for all of this stuff. Put your product listing in, put your competitor's product listing in, put both of your reviews in, and analyze why it's better than yours, and try working that out with your manufacturer to improve your product. So in conclusion, reviving a declining Amazon listing requires holistic, targeted approach. Yes, it can be hard, but if you diagnose exactly what is the main bottleneck and address it, you can fix this issue. Simply increasing your PPC spend without addressing underlying issues like competition, pricing, imagery, keyword optimization, and product quality will not yield sustainable results. You will just spend so much money on PPC just to stay and maintain at that level, but your profit margin will shrink, and you have to consider every year you have new competitors entering the market, and the Amazon PPC bids get more expensive. So you're going to be in no man's land until you solve these issues. And to finish off, the last part is where we're going to use Amazon Search Query Performance Report. So let's say you're selling well now, your product's crushing it, and you're trying to identify exactly what part of the funnel can I improve upon. Is it my impressions? Is it my click-through rate? Is it my conversion rate? What part am I lacking behind? And in this part, I'm going to show you exactly how you can figure out which keywords you are lacking behind and how we can improve it to maximize our sales. So in this video, I'm going to go over how you can use Amazon Search Query Performance Report to identify what part of your Amazon funnel buyers drop off, and we can fix it to further get those sales up. So if you don't know what the Search Query Performance Report is, it's pretty much a breakdown of the top queries that Amazon realizes that your brand or your product is seeing the highest traction and search volume from. So they give you a quick breakdown here. It's the top queries that lead customers to your brand's products. And it includes a bunch of different metrics that you can analyze to further see what part of the funnel you're seeing a drop off. So this is like what we like to call the ICAP funnel. Let me explain what that is. Now, before you go here, if you don't know how to set this up, go here and you're going to go to brands and you're going to hit brand analytics. Once you're here, you want to go into search analytics, search query performance. Now, there's a few ways you can filter this out. There's brand view and ASIN view. I recommend if you have a lot of similar products just to do brand view because you can have a lot of similar search terms. There's no point in finding all these different terms when you can figure out these all for your brand. But if you have a lot of different products and a lot of different terms, you definitely want to go to ASIN view and add in your ASIN product and hit a reporting range. Now, be aware of this. Sometimes if you don't have enough data, it will not give you any information. It will show anything here about any search terms you have because Amazon needs a lot of data. So the easiest thing is if you have a lot of similar products, go to brand view and it should give you lots of data. Now, once you're here, I like to do it by monthly. Weekly is too short. There's too much data and it's not a big enough time period to analyze. You can do monthly or quarterly. I like to do monthly. Now, once you do monthly, set the year obviously and go by the last month and hit apply. Now, when we're here, there's a few things we want to analyze. So what is the ICAP funnel? So the ICAP funnel is pretty much your impressions. So we have impressions first, okay? And then we have clicks. How many clicks are we getting from those impressions? Then we have add to carts. How many people add to cart once they click our listing? And last thing, obviously, is purchases. How many people actually buy the product? So this is the ICAP funnel. Obviously, it gets smaller as you go down the funnel because you're gonna have more impressions, you're gonna have more clicks, you're gonna have more impressions, you're gonna have less clicks than impressions, you're gonna have less add to carts than clicks, and you're gonna have less purchases than add to carts. Ideally, that's the ideal situation. So what can we do here? Let me explain to you exactly how we set this up. Okay, so how can we analyze the data to see exactly where we are missing out sales or what part of our Amazon funnel or listing is leaving us back? So first thing you want to look at is the search query score. So Amazon automatically gives a score to the most relevant keywords or terms for your product. So it's rated by highest to lowest. Now this is based off a bunch of stuff. Relevancy, search volume, and overall category relevancy, also another thing. So if you have a look at this term right here, it has the #1 score. And why is that? What is that based off of? Well, it's based off of search volume. It's an insane amount of search volume, okay? But it also takes into account how relevant this term is for our product or brand. So we are getting a good amount of, we're actually getting some brand share here. We're getting some clicks here if you have a look. Brand share here, we're getting clicks, we're actually getting sales here. Now, if it was just a lot of search volume with no relevancy, it wouldn't be this high up. So it does a bunch of stuff. So the second term, you have a look here, is second query score. It has low search volume, but Amazon identifies that this is super relevant for our products or our brand. So I really recommend leaving it as it is because if you set it by, so if we set it by example, let's say we want to see the highest search volume terms. If we set it by search volume, you can have a look here. But now look at the search query score. It's giving us, like, for the main one, 435. This keyword is not relevant for this brand at all. Like, 0% brand share. So there's no point in analyzing these keywords. So always set it by the highest search query, 1 to 10. And then from there, you can sort of filter out of the top 50 search query scores, the most important ones that we should focus on. Now, there's a few other things we really want to take into account. So the next thing is impressions. Impressions is sort of a skewed data here. And I say that for a few reasons. Because there's a different count for mobile and desktop. So for example, we have all these impressions here that are showing for each individual keywords. But it can be skewed because if you look at, let's say, desktop, it stops after page 1. So it just stops here, and all of these counts as impressions. All of this is impressions that I'm doing right now. But if you're on mobile, there is no page 1 or page 2 usually. Sometimes it just scrolls endlessly. You can continuously scroll. So Amazon sees all of that as its own data, and it can be very skewed. So what I recommend is don't focus too much on impressions. Obviously, it's important. I would focus more so on search volume and then clicks, okay? Now, clicks are super important. Clicks identifies whether this keyword is important for us and whether we're having a good click share. Now, let's analyze exactly how we can figure out whether we're above the market benchmark or we're below it. So let's have a look at the first keyword here. So for example, if we have a look here for impressions, we have a 0.74% brand share for this. So you can see the brand count is 66,000 compared to the total count, which is almost 9 million, okay? So 0.74. Now, what can we do with this data? Now let's get into, out of those impressions, how many clicks do we get? So if we go down here, let's go to clicks. So out of all those impressions, we have a brand share of 0.59 clicks. So what does that mean? So our clicks is at 0.59, and our brand share of impressions is 0.74. So there's a significant drop off. We see a drop off in the clicks and impressions. So what does this indicate off the bat? We have a lot of more people seeing our listing, but the share decreases when they actually want to click our listing. So what does this mean? Either we have a pricing issue, main image issue, review issue, rating issue, or competitors are just marketing the product better than theirs. So we can identify, okay, for this keyword, something's being missed out, especially if this is a very important keyword. Why is there a drop off in clicks? It's usually due to the main image. That's one thing. And then pricing, obviously another big thing. So we can identify, okay, we have an issue here. So can we further fix it? That's the next step. Can I fix this issue? Can I improve the click share rate so that it seems the brand share? Because obviously for a keyword as big as this, if we increase this to this, you'll see a significant increase in sales. So that's a very important thing that you want to look into. Now, after clicks, obviously it's add to carts. So go to add to carts. So what is that add to cart share? So for this brand, their brand share for add to carts is at 0.1%. Okay, so 0.1% from 0.59. So actually, we see sort of a drop off, a big drop off. But what I want you to consider is cart ads is also a very skewed data because some people just buy the product upright without adding it to the cart. So that's also something you want to consider. But if you want to look into it, we go to purchases, purchase rate. So for this keyword, purchase rate is at 0.8%. So it's a big drop off. So we can see in the entire funnel, we're seeing a big drop off. So our impressions was at 0.74. Okay. Then we go to clicks is at 0.59. Okay. We see a drop there. Then we go to cart ads, 0.1, another one. And then we go into purchases, 0.8, 0.08. So you can identify, this is how it's usually going to look, but we want to see exactly the ones that have a difference. So some might have a bigger purchase rate compared to click rate, which is very interesting. You can identify which parts of the funnel is making this difference. So let's go on to a different example that I'm going to show you right here. So this term right here, let's have a look at this term. So just for some context, this is a brand term. So this is the branded term. So we have a look at the search volume. We have a look at the brand share. So they have a 29% brand share of impressions. Okay. Is that good or is that not good? You have to consider whether a lot of people are advertising on your actual brand name and they're trying to steal your competitors. So that's one thing, 29% there. Now let's go into clicks. So clicks, we see a big click increase, right? So clicks go up to 80%. So obviously this makes sense because people are searching for our brand. So they see our product, so the clicks are naturally going to grow up. Now, why are the impressions much lower? Because we have a lot of other competitors advertising on our terms, right? And they might be ranking organically for it too. But obviously people are searching for our brand. So our click share should naturally be much higher than your impressions. This is how it naturally should be for your branded terms, okay? Now, we can go into the next part of the funnel. We go to cart ads. It's much higher. So that's pretty good. 92% cart ads. People are literally just looking for our product, so they're ready to buy it. Cart ads, 92%. And the next thing is purchase. So 91%. Pretty much the same. So this is really good. This makes the same sense for all of your branded terms. Your impressions are always going to be the lowest because you're going to have a lot of other listings that aren't yours. But your click-through rate, your add to cart, and purchases should relatively be high. If it's not high, that means, okay, people are searching for your brand, but when they go on your listing, something is not compelling to them. Maybe your Shopify site or your D2C site is much more compelling and your Amazon listing is not compelling at all. So you can realize, okay, I'm just missing out tons of buyers who are looking for my product, but they don't end up buying it on Amazon. So you have to reinvent your listings, re-optimize everything and fix that issue right up front. So let's have a look at one last term. So this is not a brand term. This is also another pretty big term in this space for this brand. So let's have a look at this. So brand share 1.92%. Okay. So they have a good amount of share in this market, especially for 34,000 search volume monthly. Now let's go into clicks. So impressions of 1.92. Clicks is 2%. So okay, that's a good sign. So our clicks are better than our impressions. So what is the main? Probably we're underutilizing our PPC. We're not advertising enough on this listing because our impressions are not high enough. But we know that based off of the actual data, our clicks are pretty good compared to that. So when people see our actual thing, there's a high chance they'll convert and actually want to click onto our listing. So we know for this term, okay, we should probably advertise more and see if there's enough data here to further build off of and if it goes up. You can also have a look at the click rate and analyze this against your other terms to see if it's good or not. So we know our clicks are good. So this is a good keyword for us. Now let's go into add to carts and everything. So we can go to brand share. So there is a drop off in cart ads, but that's normal. That's normal regardless. There's always going to be a drop off there. But now there shouldn't be a big drop off between cart ads and purchases. So let's have a look here on what's that looking like. So it's like 0.57 to 0.4. So a little bit, but it still isn't horrible. Because if we look at the top keyword, we're at 0.08, sorry. And this one we're at 0.4. So this is a much better term for this brand, right? It's a branded term. We have good click-through rate for it, obviously. And it's a good opportunity. So what would I further implement with this keyword or anything like this? I would see if I can add it further into our listing copy, into our title. Because if our click-through rate is high, can we add this keyword anywhere on the top of our title? Can we add it on our main image anywhere on the packaging? And then obviously start running more advertising for it. this is what's really going to help you move the needle. And this is why this tool is so powerful, because it shows Amazon's giving you a literal cut through data of like, these are the most important keywords for our product. And you want to take this data as the most accurate compared to Helium 10 or any other thing, because this is literally Amazon's data based off of all your past performance and what they're internally tracking. And we have no method of exactly figuring out how they're tracking this stuff, but we should trust it because this is the platform we're selling on. And obviously we should figure out what's working the best for us. So this is